Hello everyone, I am BowserJrXD. Welcome to the Xfinity 500 at Martinsville Speedway. Race 35 of 36 for the NASCAR Cup Series in 2025. The penultimate race of the 2025 season and the last short track at that. Two drivers are already locked into the Final Four, Denny Hamlin and Chase Briscoe. The JGR drivers. Can their teammate Christopher Bell join them today? He's sitting pretty good, I think 38 points to the good. But in case there's a winner below the line, that advantage shrinks to just 2. Now, Kyle Larson trying to make sure he gets over the hump in case there's an upset winner. Everyone else, they're going for a win. Byron, Elliott, Blaney, Logano. Only P1 will save their season.
There's just something about this place. Half a mile of history, tight corners, hot tempers, and that grandfather clock waiting in Victory Lane. For Hendrick Motorsports, it all started here. In '84, Jeff Bodine scored Rick's first win, the spark that built a dynasty.
Harry hired the guys in the crew, did a super job.
Since then, Hendrick drivers have owned this track, 29 victories and counting. For me, my 93rd and final win came here in 2015. That day wasn't just another trophy. It was one last fight for a title shot.
Fight and dig it, boys. That's what we do.
Now, the stakes are the same. 2 spots left. For Hendrick Motorsports, it's make or break. Larson, Elliott, Byron, 3 teammates built for moments like this.
Yeah, baby.
There are 2.
And across the grid, every rival feels the weight of it too.
It all comes down to this.
The final stop before Phoenix.
Chastain did a video game move.
One race, one clock, one last chance to keep the dream alive.
Pretty much a buckle in here.
Because here, legends aren't born easy. They're made the hard way. One bump, one lap, one checkered flag at a time.
You know, all of these pieces have just been fantastic, but there was nobody better to voice over this than Jeff Gordon. He was just a master at this racetrack. He understands. He's bringing that up to the drivers that he has there now at Hendrick Motorsports, and just a great history throughout the years of Jeff Gordon and Hendrick here. I wonder where his 9 grandfather clocks sit. Denny Hamlin's already advanced to the championship for DJ, but is today important to build some momentum for the championship race next week? You know, it's hugely important. A couple of things. They've been having some mechanical issues. They have to make sure they get that solved before next week, and momentum is a wonderful thing to have taken in that championship race. Is there part of you that thinks Chase Elliott might be the car to beat today? There's no doubt. He was really strong here in the spring. This is the type of racetrack.
Finished second last fall as well.
You have to be able to go. You have to be aggressive if you need to be. That's all Chase Elliott. If there's one non-playoff driver you're thinking about today, who would that be? 54 starting second. Ty Gibbs looking for that first win. No telling what he might do to try to get that. And if there's, William Byron right in front of him, you got to think about him as well. It's been a rough playoff. Could they pull a rabbit out of the hat and get the win today? I'll say this. He's got the number and the talent to get it done today.
The number.
Let's lock in the championship field.
Man,
Time
I
to
wish
get the engines fired
that was
here in
it.
Martinsville this afternoon.
This is the moment you all have been waiting for. Please welcome Xfinity Rewards member Jason Trent. He's here today to say the most famous words in motorsports. Take it away, Jason.
Welcome to the Xfinity 500. Drivers, start your engines.
Lame command. Being said, it's time for today's starting lineup. 37 cars in the field.
What happens when you take the pressure of the playoffs and condense it into a half-mile short track? There's tons of different agendas out there, like Christopher Bell, who comes in here 37 points above the cut line, but only one above Kyle Larson. If there's a new winner, it could come down to points for him. For Chase Briscoe up here, he's locked in, but a win for him could help his teammate Christopher Bell get into the next round and fight for a championship. And then you have the 9 car of Chase Elliott, absolutely in a must-win at this time, but some say he had the best car yesterday, and he's done it before getting to victory lane. You mix it in with a ton of other drivers who aren't in the playoffs racing just to win, and you get the fireworks that we often see here at Martinsville in this tiny paper-clip half-mile racetrack. We'll be back.
One more.
Is it season ending?
It'll take every ounce of its hand-smashed Angus beef, but it's got a chance.
Steady. Careful of the cheese. Pillowy soft bun, diced onions, smasher sauce. And pickles! Yeah. We got pickles. Sonic Smasher, the QB1 of burgers.
When my doctor gave me Breztri for my COPD, I noticed things changed. Breztri gave me better breathing starting within 5.
If he thinks, all right, starting, all right. Where's the fucking file? There we go. Starting 37th, driving the number 66 SI Yachts Ford for Garage 66. 47 years old from Bakersfield, California, Casey Mears. Starting 36th, driving the number 51, Rexzilla Kick.com Ford for Rick Ware Racing. 29 years old from Greensboro, North Carolina, Cody Ware. Starting 35th, driving the number 4, Farm Rich Ford for Front Row Motorsports. 27 years old from Las Vegas, Nevada, Noah Gregson. Starting 34th, driving the number 7, Nations Guard Chevrolet for Spire Motorsports. 26 years old from Winnemac, Indiana, Justin Haley. Starting 33rd, driving the number 16, Black's Tire Chevrolet for Colleague Racing. 43 years old from Los Gatos, California, AJ Allmendinger. Starting 32nd, driving the number 47, Jack Link's non-vegan Chevrolet for Hayek Motorsports. 38 years old from Olive Branch, Mississippi, Ricky Stenhouse Jr. Starting 31st, driving the number 12, Discount Tire Ford for Team Penske. 31 years old from High Point, North Carolina, Ryan Blaney. Hold on. Say the first playoff driver. Starting 30th, driving the number 99, Jockey Infinite Cool Underwear Chevrolet for Trackhouse Racing. 33 years old from Monterrey, Mexico, Daniel Suarez. Starting 29th, driving the number 17, Kroger Core Power Ford for Roush Fenway Kozlowski Racing. 32 years old from Prosper, Texas, Chris Buescher. Starting 28th, driving the number 43, Dollar Tree Toyota for Legacy Motor Club. 29 years old from Byron, Michigan, Eric Jones. Starting 27th, driving the number 21, Motorcraft Quick Lane Ford for the Wood Brothers. 35 years old from Hendersonville, Tennessee, Josh Berry. Starting 26th, driving the number 10, Grizzly Nicotine Pouches Chevrolet for Colleague Racing. 33 years old from Louisville, North Carolina, Ty Dillon. I can't have trouble read. Starting 25th, driving the number 35, Monster Energy Zero Sugar Toyota for 2311 Racing. 26 years old from Las Vegas, Nevada, Riley Herbst, the first rookie in the field. Starting 24th, driving the number 42, Pie Barker Fire and Safety Toyota for Legacy Motor Club. 28 years old from Mooresville, North Carolina, John Hunter Nemechek. Starting 23rd, driving the number 38, Long John Silver's Ford for Front Row Motorsports. 26 years old from Huntington Beach, California, Zane Smith. Starting 22nd, driving the number 88, Safety Culture Chevrolet for Trackhouse Racing. 36 years old from Auckland, New Zealand, Shane Van Gisbergen. The second rookie, the last rookie, the highest starting rookie. Starting 21st, driving the number 23 Xfinity Mobile Toyota for 2311 Racing. 32 years old from Mobile, Alabama, Bubba Wallace. Starting 20th, driving the number 3 Best Pro Shops Winchester Waterfowl Chevrolet for Richard Childress Racing. 35 years old from Louisville, North Carolina, Austin Dillon. Starting 19th, driving the number 6 BuildSubmarines.com Ford for Roush Fenway Keselowski Racing. 41 years old from Rochester Hills, Michigan, Brad Keselowski. Starting 18th, driving the number 60 Castrol Travel Centers of America Ford for Roush Fenway Keselowski Racing. 35 years old from Berlin, Connecticut, Ryan Priest. Jeez. Starting 17th, driving the number 48 Ally Chevrolet for Hendrick Motorsports. 32 years old from Tucson, Arizona, Alex Bowman. Starting 16th, driving the number 34 Grillo's Pickles Ford for Front Row Motorsports. 25 years old from Sherrills Ford, North Carolina, Todd Gilliland. Starting 15th, driving the number 77 Moto Casino Chevrolet for Spire Motorsports. 22 years old from Portage, Michigan, Carson Hocevar. Starting 14th, driving the number 45 Chumba Casino Toyota for 2311 Racing. 29 years old from Corning, California, Tyler Reddick. Starting 13th, driving the number 1 Moose Fraternity Chevrolet for Trackhouse Racing. 32 years old from Alva, Florida, Ross Chastain. Starting 12th, driving the number 20 Kufandi Menswear Toyota for Joe Gibbs Racing. 30 years old from Norman, Oklahoma, Christopher Bell, the second playoff driver. Starting 11th, driving the number 71 Gamebridge WIMNA Chevrolet for Spire Motorsports. 40 years old from Glendale, Arizona, Michael McDowell. And WIMNA stands for Women in Motorsports North America. Now for the top 10. Starting 10th, driving the number 2 Menards Richmond Water Heaters Ford for Team Penske. 27 years old from Mooresville, North Carolina, Austin Cindric. Starting 9th, driving the number 19 Best Pro Shops Toyota for Joe Gibbs Racing. 30 years old from Mitchell, Indiana, Chase Briscoe, the third playoff driver and in last week's winner. Starting 8th, driving the number 9 Lumar Chevrolet for Hendrick Motorsports. 29 years old from Dawsonville, Georgia, Chase Elliott, the fourth playoff driver. Starting 7th, driving the number 8 BetMGM Chevrolet for Richard Childress Racing. 40 years old from Las Vegas, Nevada, Kyle Busch. Starting 6th, driving the number 41 Texas A&M University for Haas Factory Team. Texas A&M University Ford for Haas Factory Team. 27 years old from Ladera Ranch, California, Cole Custer. Starting 5th, driving the number 11 Kings Hawaiian Toyota for Joe Gibbs Racing. 44 years old from Chesterfield, Virginia, Denny Hamlin, the fifth playoff driver. Starting 4th, driving the number 22 Shell Pennzoil Ford for Team Penske. 35 years old from Middletown, Connecticut, Joey Logano, the sixth playoff driver. Starting third, and is also the highest starting of the 13 Fords. Starting 3rd, driving the number 5 HendrickCars.com Chevrolet for Hendrick Motorsports. 33 years old from Elk Grove, California, Kyle Larson, the 7th playoff driver. Starting on the outside pole, driving the number 54 Monster Energy Toyota for Joe Gibbs Racing. 23 years old from Charlotte, North Carolina, Ty Gibbs, the highest starting of the 9 Toyotas. And on the pole, driving the number 24 Cincinnati Chevrolet for Hendrick Motorsports, with a pole time of 19.286 seconds and an average speed of 98.185 miles per hour. 27 years old from Charlotte, North Carolina, the highest starting playoff driver and the highest starting of the 15 Chevrolets, William Byron. That's the starting line, and we're green. Damn, I missed the first 2 laps. Go figure. 500 laps around this.
Still outside now. You into 34.
That got started really quickly. Hey, 500 laps around the half-mile paper clip. That is Martinsville. Jeez. Okay. Hamlin has gotten past Logano. Let me reload the screen. That crept up on me so fast.
On the outside, there's 45. There's spots to be gained on the outside, but big conversation. Jeff and I talked about it pre-race. are these new left side Goodyear tires.
Now, Bell is started outside of the top 10. He was the second worst qualifying playoff driver. Larson is second right now. So he got past Ty Gibbs.
Drivers have to be cautiously aggressive if you can put those two together.
Chase Elliott is a must-win. I should have lost.
Briscoe with Reddick on his outside in the 45. McDowell right behind. He's trying to go with his teammate Christopher Bell. Remember last week in Talladega, Briscoe was helped home by a teammate in Ty Gibbs, who still runs third, just ahead of his teammate Denny Hamlin.
Reddick still stuck on the outside right here. Steve did a great job of explaining how you have to manage these tires a little bit, but Reddick has no choice. He has got to stay in the gas here, trying to find himself back to the bottom. There's a little bit of a gap to the 34 of Todd Gilliland. Let's see if he lifts right here. Tries to take that gap. He doesn't. Now Todd's going to drive up there to the back of the 71 of McDowell. Trying to get Reddick nowhere to go.
Unchanged up front, still Byron, Larson, Gibbs, Hamlin, Logano, top 5. Todd Gilliland in that bright green 34, coming off an outstanding result a week ago as Chastain gets roughed up a little bit.
By his teammate, SVG.
Chastain, the 48, pushed and shoved, and Bowman got by. And I think Chastain thought SVG was going to let him in. I like that SVG kind of fights for himself. This is part of that learning curve on the ovals. He's settled in. That's that 88 car. The 1 of Chastain behind. Right behind the 1, you see the 3 of Austin Dillon. I'm waiting to see how that 3 runs, Jeff. So good at Richmond on a tire that also lost a lot of grip. We'll see if that translates here to the paperclip.
Yeah, I saw him this morning, actually just before the race, and I said, I feel like this tire falls in your favor. And he says, I'm excited. Let's go see what we can make happen. Good start of this race for this 22 team.
They've lost they lost the spot.
They struggled in practice yesterday. Didn't really think they had the speed, but a really good start for them.
Hunt Brothers Pizza on board with Joey Logano. He said yesterday this is going to be a heavyweight bout. It's going to be like a dogfight worth watching. And so far,
now trying to pull the inside of Hamlin.
To work on Hamlin. Down into turn 3.
Sending it in.
Great move by Joey
and gets
Logano.
4th.
He moved up the racetrack.
Chase Elliott moving up, though. He's up to 6th.
Leave lower than the 11 car to make that pass. He was able to do it, though, because no one was right behind him. He gave the middle up, ran up the racetrack, was able to turn down. If somebody was behind him, he couldn't do that because they would have driven underneath him.
How hard do you have to work here as a driver?
Very. It is at a very aggressive racetrack. However, you see this battle right here.
Bell's up to the 10th now.
However, you do
started.
Need to be a
Wait,
little bit
did Briscoe start worse than him?
As Steve described,
no, Briscoe started 9th. Bell started 12th.
You can pay a big price.
Let's talk more about the man running. In second place, the HendrickCars.com Chevy Kyle Larson. Here's Parker.
Right, Lee, and actually, Jeff, to your point on the left side tire, that's a conversation amongst many of these teams. When we talked to Kyle Larson after practice yesterday, he remarked how he felt like he went too hard too early in that practice session, hurt those tires too early. And so today, about this first run, I talked to his crew chief, Cook Daniels. I said, how do you know what's the right pace? He said, that's up to Kyle to feel out and figure out. We've looked at the data. We think we understand what he should be doing. But I think a lot of these teams, as we're 16,
Bell's back to 11th.
laps in, are just assessing what is the correct pace. And that's exactly what Kyle Larson's doing, that 5 car right now.
Talking about progress, how about Daniel Suarez for Trackhouse Racing in his second to last drive for that organization? He was announced this week as heading to Spire Motorsports next year.
He's up 10
Daniel's
spots.
Come from 30th
Blaney's
to
only up
20th.
4, so that means he's in 27th.
Move forward. We'll talk about how hard it is to pass. Daniel finding a way to do it.
What's this?
Take a look at this.
Chase Elliott doing the same
So
thing.
a high arc, able to find the low line and swipe past Hamlin.
Entry is high, gets checked up, gets pointed, turns.
What a pass.
Denny Hamlin been passed twice here in the last few laps. You wonder if he's saving that tire just a little bit.
Well, he said after practice that this was like 15 years ago, and then he quipped that not a lot of guys were around 15 years ago. So we'll see if they have the skill set that Denny thinks.
One who was is Logano.
Good today. The driver in front of him, driver 9. Kim, I think he has that skill set to be patient.
Yeah, absolutely has that skill set. Already broken into the top 5 after starting 8th. And crew chief Alan Gustafson, very complimentary of his driver here at Martinsville. He said the track suits what Chase does. That means not overdriving the car. And once he gets in a rhythm, he does not abuse his tire. He stays in it. He's very methodical, and that will pay off today. Again, 5th right now for Chase Elliott.
All right, another driver trying to lock himself into the championship.
And just anything to Logano.
Race winner here in Martinsville.
I think.
Ryan Blaney for Blaney fans. He's up
Almost.
5 positions. Here he is here in that discount tire Ford.
There he goes. Elliott to the inside of Logano.
He's 89 points below the cut line.
It's up to 4th.
A must-win situation. We'll update that when we come back.
All right. Well, this one, I've been working on my 100 plus win videos. I finally have all the footage I need for the last 2. I finished yesterday's because I said in my community post that I'm making a series of video. Actually going to decide to do 4 videos for next weekend. So the Thursday one will be a precursor to the Friday video. The Thursday video will be the wins of Billy Baloo Motorsports. And then the Friday, Saturday, Sunday will each have a truck, Xfinity, and Cup team that have 100 plus wins. For trucks, that'll be Kyle Busch Motorsports. For Xfinity, that will be Richard Childress Racing. And for Cup, it will be the Wood Brothers. I finished the Kyle Busch Motorsports video last night. Or I think it was actually yesterday in general, but now I'm putting together those last ones for the Wood Brothers. Well, I got all the footage for the Wood Brothers this morning. I already had all the information I needed for the for Richard. I already had all the footage I needed for Richard Childress Racing. 1975 There we go. Hamlin's gotten Elliott's past Gibbs, and now Hamlin is back past Logano. We got a race here, man.
This is the Xfinity 500 from Martinsville Speedway here in Virginia, live on NBC, and we're under caution.
Caution.
Under caution for the first time today.
What happened?
It's going to be a very interesting timing for the crew chiefs. Let's see exactly what happened.
This is Bubba Wallace.
Oh.
It's turned in as Suarez. Was
that
that really need a caution?
Right there, but it looked like he was getting spun around.
They saved it.
Off the nose of the 23 of Bubba Wallace. Zane Smith in the
right in front of
also
Ryan
kind
Blaney as
involved,
well.
Shooting to the bottom over
no,
that curbing.
Barely any positions were impacted by that.
It's
Suarez
like
lost one spot.
And then unwrecked, if you could do that. Not sure that's possible, but somehow Suarez pulled it off.
Didn't the same thing happen yesterday? Wait.
3 wide into these corners is very difficult to pull off.
So what I was saying, it's a very interesting time. 29 laps complete. Yesterday, we've talked about how much the cars lose grip and slow down. Today, I think between the weather and the drivers managing it, they really haven't slowed down much at all. I imagine most of the field is going to want to pit here, but does somebody in the back, say a Ryan Blaney, does somebody do something different to try to flip this and gain some track position, or does everyone follow the leader down pit road? We'll just have to see as Byron, Larson, Elliott,
They're all
3
pitting.
Hendrick cars lead the field to pit road, Kim.
And for Chase Elliott, he said that car's turning pretty well in traffic. No major adjustments expected. You see top left, they will take fresh tires, though. Parker.
And for his teammate Kyle Larson, he came on the radio and said, pretty good. His crew chief Cliff Daniels said, your pace was excellent. Keep it up. Just 4 tires for him.
Christopher Bell gives up 10th position. He said the car was starting to go a little bit free. Took off okay, just a little migration, Marty.
William Byron has pit stall number 1. His only comment to Rudy Fugle is, quote, I'm just managing, happy with the handling on the 24
Byron's
car
okay,
and
just
trying
good.
To take it easy on those Goodyear tires. We'll see at the 2014.
Going. What? Mike McDowell wins.
I hear you asking at home, and you too, Marty, did anybody stay out? Jeff, the answer is
no. The entire field pitted.
The whole field came down pit road, and Michael McDowell, Marty, to answer your question, he won the race off.
Chase Elliott lost 4 spots on pit road. Pit crew lets him down again. But now we wait.
Adam during that stop said rolling center good, drive off is better than most around me. I don't know what to ask for, so no major changes. They did tell Ryan to manage his tires once it goes green. They're trying to make it to the end of the stage on this set of tires.
97 to go, 97 laps to go in this first stage. Stevie, what got your attention during that first round of stop?
Well, that red 9 of Chase Elliott came in third. Watch this. Right side looks good, and when everybody transitions to the left, the first time I watched this, everything looks fine, and then I'm like, wait, somebody's missing. Where did the tire changer go? And he comes back into frame.
Where'd he go?
Crack crew down at tape. We do a little cheat. We go to the roof of the 9, and check this out. Tire changer leaves, and this tire, we talk about the banking, it rolls forward, trying to get away. If that gets to the middle of the 51's pit box, that is a penalty for the 9. So
it's better to lose 4 spots than to go to the back of the field. That's for damn sure.
So this is Martinsville Pit Road. Chaos will happen. How do you manage? I give that 9, even though they lost. That's A+ work, making sure it wasn't a penalty.
2-tire change for Michael.
There we
McDowell.
go.
That's what got the 71 in the lead, alongside William Byron. We're back to it here in the Xfinity 500.
All right, coming off the 4. Let's see if who will get a lead. Byron or McDowell. Better tires on Byron, and he's back up front. Or is he? Not just yet. Not clear of the 71, though.
Right before the caution came out.
There, almost. Oh, McDowell not going to let him in. Oh, has to go way high off the turn, but he's clear now.
Yeah, McDowell was running 13th before he chose.
Elliott's up to 7th. He gained. He's up 1 since the restart.
Run, I think it'll work out for him. But you heard Kim say these teams are going to try to go nearly 100 laps. Now, if he has to do that on those left side tires, this could be a really big penalty for the 71.
Hamlin to the inside of Logano. Logano is on the outside. You typically don't want to have to take the outside. I mean, it's worked for Chase Elliott a couple passes. Logano has made a passing outside. Ooh, Logano. Ooh, Larson to force his way by the number 71 of Michael McDowell. He gets there, and Ty Gibbs trying to follow suit as well. Here's Chase Elliott to the inside of Logano as well.
Ty Gibbs is the next one. Check him off.
Logano slots in behind Elliott in 7th. But the 71 is stuck outside.
Signing up for a shot as well. Napper on board shows us his view.
No, Blaney up 9 spots already, up to 22nd. Dale Jarrett talked about that in the pre-race. He thought he would be able to recover. We look at all these playoff cars. There's Blaney, bottom of the screen. He was kind of really close to that mix.
Where was
99 car when he got turned around? Didn't really have any contact.
What position is he in, though?
I guess methodical would be the term I would use if I'm coaching this 12 around. We're not going to gain 20 spots.
Dowell's now on the inside. Ooh, that might hurt the bottom lane now. Oh, Custer getting jostled around. Here's Bell trying to force the issue. He's by Custer. He's up to 8th. Going to try and wrap the outside of the 71 now.
Todd slapped the wall too on the exit
Gilliland?
of the previous turn when he was duking it out with Custer. Austin Cindric is immediately behind in that Dayglow.
Yeah, there's Gilliland.
Hey,
there's Gilliland.
Good opening phase of stage 1.
He's in the top 10 now. Bell passes for 7th.
Custer in that 41 carrying the Texas A&M paint scheme, hoping to have that same magic that the team had yesterday, staying undefeated. Let's see what happens.
He didn't.
So McDowell tries to block him. He does. Custer's like, no, I want this spot. Actually hits the curb with the left front tire. And then contact with Gilliland.
And Todd hits the wall right by the start finish line.
That's just simply how aggressive you have
The 71 is in free fall now.
Here comes Briscoe on the inside. Big move from Hocevar on the 77. He gets into the side.
Logano trying to repass Hamlin. Hamlin holding on. Nope. Logano to the inside.
Austin Cindric did not appreciate that from Carson Hocevar.
I didn't even see what happened. Damn it.
Dive that I don't think Austin appreciated. You always know people are going to drive underneath you, try to. I think Austin felt like it was a little bit of a late move.
Bush by Cindric.
Meanwhile, up front, there's some breathing room for Hendrick Motorsports. William Byron, look at this.
I remember Elliott got by both Hamlin and Logano. Well, Elliott got by Hamlin. I didn't see that. 3 wide there. Oh, Priest getting stuck. Ow!
Gets all squirrely. That's affected Zane Smith. He lost a couple
This is
positions.
awesome racing, man.
Blaney is on that low side. He's trying to clear all of this.
Now Blaney 3 wide, but 3 wide bottom. I like that situation. As long as you don't drive over the curb with your left side, you should kind of survive the corner. He does.
Blaney's afraid about what's going to happen in front of him. I mean, it's been wild.
That's Bubba Wallace in the Xfinity 23. Ryan Priest in the Castrol 60 there. He was the one that got loosened up and was kind of fishtailing up the front stretch here in Martinsville.
Yeah, and kind of the dam up the stream of all of these cars is that 2-tire call for the 71. You see that there's a gap in front, but traffic behind. That tells me that he's holding.
Elliott round the outside of Ty Gibbs. He's passing it, or he's almost clear, but he's been passing everywhere. Chase Elliott to 3rd. Ty Gibbs, Logano, I mean, trying to see if he can do the same thing it looked like.
Trying to run the bottom. 3 wide on the bottom screen again. I'm not sure where to watch for the wreck.
Gibbs blocking Logano. Logano slips down to the inside.
McDowell just getting shoved out of the way.
Joey Logano, Ty Gibbs.
And Logano to 4th.
Logano's able to get a good run off turn 4, get the advantage on the JGR Monster 54. Just looking at the 9 of Chase Elliott. Chase set it in countdown to green in pre-race. And Alan Gustafson said the same thing to me yesterday in the garage area.
Trying to get the quality better.
Today, if we don't win, We not go to the championship 4. We get to the championship 4. It's another one race championship. Mindset is clear going in.
Yeah, and I think that's the way you have to do it, race by race, much like Ryan Blaney on the bottom of the screen. It's position by position.
Well, Blaney
such an exciting time of the year.
Has to win.
This race always delivers, and the recipe we have this week really just points us in the right direction. From a great crowd to a
Briscoe looking to make a move on Cole Custer.
The weather. I'm ready for an old school Martinsville.
Good restart by Christopher Bell. He's picked up 5 spots, riding up to 7th place. Started 12th. Talked to him this morning. He did not like his car in practice yesterday. He said, I'm not real sure if I'm not doing what I need to be doing or if the car isn't like it needs to be. Felt like it didn't turn the way he was looking for. But clearly, Steve, I think they make good changes to it.
Absolutely.
Dave Burns, let's talk more about the 20.
And Adam Stevens agreed changes needed to be made to this 20 car. So he was so happy with the way they ran here in March. Remember, he sat on pole and finished second to Denny Hamlin, so they knew they had something. And Adam said that was a huge step in the right direction for this team and this driver at this track. So building on it, tried things yesterday that didn't exactly work. And as you say, made the right changes so far.
So positivity for Christopher Bell, positivity for Ryan Blaney. 31st to 19th. That 12 just keeps methodically working its way through the field.
But now he's kind of out of the chaos, Jeff. Right now it's like, now he can take a breath, get his car, figure out how it's driving, set up the 60. I mean, 10 laps ago, there was no racing or setting anyone up for the pass. It was kind of a bar fight. Now this is real kind of short track action. This is what the 12 was in the middle of a few laps ago, is this pushing and shoving back here.
Suarez trying to block.
Daniel and Suarez goes way out, almost hits the outside wall.
Hornet's nest since the start of this race.
After making up 10 positions early on in stage 1, that's the second incident that Suarez has been involved in. Meanwhile, William Byron, he's led for 52 laps.
Yo, what's better than a great touchdown? 5 great touchdowns.
Jamal Charles was cooking.
I see, those are grown man touchdowns right there.
What is that supposed to mean? Grown man touchdowns. Tell me what it means, weird beard. You look like...
We're back.
Brad's a little further back than where he'd like to be, currently running in 30th. Meanwhile, Blaney continues to make progress. Ryan is up to 17th place from starting in 31st. And Parker Kligerman a little bit further forward in the field. Kyle Larson still in a strong second.
Yes, Lee, and before that caution, we were noticing how Logano and Chase Elliott were making passes, but we weren't the only ones to notice that. Take a listen to the FIS radio.
Chase has been passing by doing what we've seen, running above them for one corner and then getting a good run up off his position, take it away. He's been doing good doing that so far. Your pace has been good.
So that's sort of the thing that we are seeing, and the teams are assessing as well, and they've been continuing to update Kyle Larson about what the 9 of Chase Elliott is doing line-wise. Occasionally, Chase Elliott has been doing a wider entry, getting a run off the corner. This is all the things the teams and drivers are evaluating, especially when you're up front like Kyle, and you can't see that because, obviously, you're up front.
You'll catch 66 first.
So look at the difference in the lines. Chase Elliott, a really high entry. Both leave on the bottom, both running the same speed. You couldn't drive two race cars any differently at Martinsville than these two drivers are right now. Now they're starting to catch the lap traffic. Casey Mears, now they're both going to get a little more to the bottom of the racetrack to try to make this pass. 35 of Herbst, won by him.
All right.
Gotta work
Working through lap traffic.
Really, you want to pick a spot up for sure.
Oh, that's the 66. Byron's got it. Wow, he shot ahead as the 5 and 9 are trying to work through the lap traffic.
Get by these two guys. Then we'll go back battling amongst ourselves.
Yeah, and I want to work together with Larson, even if he doesn't want me to. I'm going to let him do the work, get the bottom lane clear for us, and now once we get clear, then we can go back to racing as Blaney gets another car, passing the 45 of Reddick. That will move Blaney all the way up into the 16th position.
Blaney is so good at making passes at every kind of racetrack. You know, when he has something that happens, bad qualifying event or something, I don't worry about he and his team being able to get track position.
51 almost
Going to bring in our
getting
Hall
out
of
of the
Famer
way
Dale
there.
Jarrett. DJ, yesterday you said after qualifying, when Blaney was in 31st, you said that's not time to panic. It's achievable for him to come through the field. How so? Why were you so confident so early?
Well, I think Jeff Burton and I understand exactly how long this race is. I mean, there are so many things that are going to happen. And just what Jeff was pointing out there about Blaney, being patient, taking things as they come to it. He's not pressing the issue here. He's taking opportunities when they come along and moving around the racetrack. He and Chase Elliott can take that wide entry into the corner, get a nice run off, and make it forward. So that's why I thought Ryan Blaney would find himself in the mix. By stage 2, he's going to be up inside the top 10 and then just doing whatever he needs to do to give himself an opportunity to win. But those Hendrick cars are sure looking like they are the class of the field right at this moment.
Well, I used to have written big on my notebook coming here. Lead
Now he's by
lap
Suarez.
300, top 10
Byron
lap
working on
400.
Nemechek.
That was the recipe to run well here. And if you worried about really anything else, you would really kind of get behind on
A
the
little
racetrack,
side bump.
the adjustments, or get behind on your anger, right? You just get too frustrated too early. You just have to understand.
Elliott's having
things aren't
trouble
gonna
in the lap
always go your way
traffic.
on some of these traffic situations.
This does look like an old school Martinsville race.
This is
You know,
good.
think about races here in the past, it would take forever to lap somebody. And here, you see the 24 car in 40 laps. Now he's up to some really good cars. Now he's got to the back of the field. And now it's going to get more difficult. But you can see the difference. In a good handling car versus a bad handling car, William Byron clearly has an advantage over these guys.
The Valvoline onboard shows us the view for William Byron. Let's show you why pole position yesterday and leading so far for 74 laps has been the medicine this team needed. Because just a couple of weeks ago in Las Vegas,
that was a heartbreaking wreck. And Talladega got spun out in the last turn.
And then coming to the checkered flag just a week ago in Talladega, look at all of those positions go flying by as William Byron plummeted in the field. So it was 1-2. He does not need this to be a knockout 3 punch here, Steve. He needs this to be the comeback punch and the comeback race, and so far so good.
Yeah, so far so good, but I will tell
Got
you
past
there's not
Haley.
many races that 400 laps
So
to
only-
go means more than this one. Track's going to change, cars will improve. So for Byron,
Next
while
is
the goal
Busher.
is to lead, and you absolutely want to be where he is, Rudy Fugel and William are going to have to be very vocal with one another of what they need to stay ahead of the rest of the field on kind of the learning curve.
Look at this just a few moments ago. William Byron, John Hunter Nemechek.
Yeah, Nemechek drives right up and over the curb.
It was a good run for Byron off the corner. See if he can get to the inside of Chris Buescher. Sends it in. There we go. There we go.
Easy to do. When the front tires decide to work and you don't have them pointed in the correct spot, you can drive right up over that curbing. And unlike like a street curb, that black area on the curbing, it's not 90 degrees to the racetrack. It's like 45 degrees, which allows this car to kind of climb it, and then it spits you off from it kind of up a lane.
That's a good view.
Yeah, so you got to want to be right down against it, right? You want to be right here, but I'm going to tell you, if you come in and you hit there, instantly you're going this direction, up the racetrack, and that's really what happens. And with these lower profile tires, it happens, I think, even easier than maybe in a truck or an Xfinity car, which the tires are a little squishier, so you can use some curb. I feel like with these cars right here, if you just touch it, it shoves you up a half a lane. Look how close those guys are.
Napa on board with Chase Elliott.
Some use of that rear
nine. Jay Elliott has not been able to work the left traffic as well, to the point where Logano is now 1.2 behind him. The gap was about 3 seconds earlier.
Go from teammate to teammate, from the 9 to the 24. William Byron, Marty, tell us more.
Yeah, you showed the chaos a moment ago, Lee, from
all right,
Las Vegas.
Byron just got by Gregson.
According to the team, in those two incidents, they lost about 55 stage points by their estimation. But Rudy Fugle told William Byron after Las Vegas, before Talladega, we have to view Martinsville as our championship race. That's the way I viewed this race for 2 weeks. So they spent 2 weeks getting ready for Martinsville. All the sim time leading into Talladega was about Martinsville. This week, all about Martinsville again. And
so 29 cars in the lead lap.
That had to be our attitude coming into this race. I'm not sure we spent more time on a race this year than this one so far, showing up on the pole, and they've led all 83 laps.
Well, we're now 88 laps.
It has been a strong day for the driver.
I think Michael McDowell led a few because he got the lead off pit road.
It's been driven by William Byron since the start of the 2018 season, but of course, made famous by Hall of Famer Jeff Gordon, who won all 4 of his Cup championships and all 93 races in the 24, and that 93rd and final win came right here in Martinsville.
Before taking Breasttree for my COPD, I had bad days. Days ruined by flare-ups that could permanently damage my lungs. Then I talked to my doctor about Breasttree, and I noticed things changed. Breasttree gave me better breathing. Starting within 5 minutes, my
fastest lap goes to the Todd father.
Breasttree also
28 cars
helped
on the
improve my
lead
symptoms,
lap.
and was even proven to reduce flare-ups, including those that could send me to the hospital. Now, I worry less about bad days and enjoy more good days.
Breasttree won't replace a rescue inhaler for sudden breathing problems. It is not for asthma. Tell your doctor if you have a heart condition or high blood pressure before taking it. Don't take Breasttree more than prescribed. Breasttree may increase your risk of thrush, pneumonia, and osteoporosis. Call your doctor if worsened breathing, chest pain, mouth or tongue swelling, problems urinating, vision changes, or eye pain occur. Can't afford your medication? AstraZeneca may be able to help.
Ask your doctor about Breasttree for COPD.
It all started on eBay when I landed on a T3, T4 turbo, but my brother was like,
"You can't put that in your sedan."
but I knew I could. So I did.
Guaranteed to fit, free returns. eBay.
Who's ready for a deal? Now you can order a footlong in the Subway app and get another for just $1. That's right, Subway MVP Rewards members. Just $1. Get your favorite sub plus 1. Subway. Eat fresh, feel good.
Our goal was simple: make it authentic. That feeling of being part of it all. That's why we went to work on this game. You want to feel NASCAR the way we live it? Time is now. This one's built for the fans, for anybody who wants to experience what it's really like. From the sound, to the speed, to the venues. All there's left to do is fire it up.
Live here on NBC, you're watching the 2025 NASCAR.
Byron's by Austin Dillon and
from historic
holy crap. Stenhouse, Dillon, Ty Dillon, Brad Keselowski.
And boy, hasn't it provided some amazing action.
Well, he's about to
today,
get Ty
it will
Dillon.
be the stage that provides us the story heading in to next weekend's championship decider, the championship finale at Phoenix Raceway. Two drivers have more comfort than others, and that's Chase Briscoe and Denny Hamlin. They are already locked into the championship four. Dave Burns, tell us more.
Let's talk about Denny Hamlin first. If he could win, he could keep others from bumping out his teammate Christopher Bell from a possibility of going for a championship. As you look at Haynes Hawaiian on board, you can see Denny racing now in the 6th position.
He's gotta get Mike Gibbs, but then now they're in lap traffic.
Not really tight anywhere, but the interesting thing is how long this run is going. 62 on the current run. Chris Gale, his crew chief, told me earlier today, man, I'm not sure if these left sides are going to last past 75.
Ooh.
We're close to that by stage end, Parker.
Whoa! Nemechek gets shot up the track.
Chase Briscoe, who just got an update from his team to start using the throttle more because they felt like the tire where they saw at that first caution, he could push a little harder here. But I think a lot of people wonder, what are these two racing for? Yes, they can help their teammate get in, but they're also trying to drive momentum into Phoenix because momentum creates performance creates confidence, and that's what this 19 team told me was at the utmost of their mind going into this race, was keeping up their confidence going into next week where they can go fight for a championship. Right now, running in 10th, they're having a pretty good day. I'd say they are keeping up that confidence a little bit.
There's the man bottom box who was elated last weekend, James Small, with his driver, Chase Briscoe, getting that first ever Super Speedway win, third win on the year to lock himself into the championship four. He's only been to championship weekend once before with a chance, and that was in his Xfinity
Blaney's
days.
up to 11th place, my
Didn't
God.
clinch the championship that year, but he does have a shot. And he has the best average finish of any driver during these 2025 playoffs. He said before the playoffs even
Oh,
began,
come on!
if we can get
Logano
to
by
that
Elliott for
championship
third.
If we can get to Phoenix, there's no reason why we can't go all the way. The driver of the Shell Pennzoil 22, bright yellow and red, Joey Logano, three-time and defending champ. Stevie, all he wants is a chance to be there to try and defend.
Yeah, right. I'll be honest. This is not the 22 car I saw yesterday in practice. Dale Jarrett and I had a conversation, and I told Marty that what I didn't like about the 22 is it looked broken up. It looked like he had the force to connect the entry to the middle, to the exit. So as they ride on board with the 22, just watch what he does now. Very calm, a little bit of tightness, picks up the throttle, a little correction, but that looks like a car to me, Jeff, that is well on its way into handling just correctly. It's allowing Joey to be patient and use the tires, not abuse the tires, and for that reason, now he's one of the best cars on the track, up to third position.
See right here is progressive temp telemetry here. Watch how he uses the throttle, how smooth he is on the throttle. He doesn't just jump back in it. Off the throttle, on the brakes, rolls the center, easy on the throttle, take care of those rear tires. You want to make the pass as quickly as you can, but you don't want to spin the rear tires. That takes life out of them. The other thing, Steve, I like about this car is the flexibility it has, meaning he doesn't have to just run the bottom. He can run the top. We've seen him make several passes on the top of the racetrack. Now he moves to the top to drive underneath the 3-on-corner exit. I don't know why, even though we watch practice, we doubt this team. This time of year, they find a way, right? It's unbelievable how they find a way to be their best. His teammate Blaney started in 31st. He is in 10th place. Penske they just step up this time of year.
Meanwhile, this forward surge continues from the 12 of Ryan Blaney.
He's in 10th?
31st to 11th. Make it 10th. That discount tire Ford is moving very efficiently.
There's a method to all this motorsports madness. A reason we do all this shifting, launching, and battling over a bottle of champagne.
18 cars on the lead lap. Now we're getting to Hocevar. Man, the pace is nuts. Now, there's Kyle Busch.
16 laps to go in the Xfinity 500, and Kyle Busch in the 8 there was the last driver on the lead lap until William Byron just zipped on by.
That makes this run of Ryan Blaney even more impressive. Remember, he was with all of these cars in the back, right? He was back here with Wallace, Hocevar, Busch, Reddick, cars that are either lapped or looking to go a lap down. So, Kim, this 12 car, Ryan Blaney, we'd all thought he could recover, but it has taken a very impressive first stint here to keep himself in the game and on the lead lap.
Absolutely. We were a little worried after yesterday's practice and qualifying, but the team was not. When I checked in this morning, they felt like they had good pace.
All 8 playoff drivers are in the top 9.
What was the challenge ahead of them today? He said, we're going to have to get track position the hard way by passing cars on track. He said, in the past, pit road has been the best way to pass cars at Martinsville.
16 cars in the lead lap.
We're not sure you have as many options on pit road. Blaney has answered the call, gone to work. He's been the biggest mover so far this race. Right now, quiet on the radio, which, Marty, usually means either a happy driver.
Okay, Briscoe is actually not in the
His teammate Joey
top
Logano
10.
trying to make his 7th championship for. And Steve mentioned it a moment ago. The weakness for this 22 car in practice yesterday was the long run. Their strength on this run has been the long run. At the beginning of the run, Jeff, Paul Wolfe told Joey Logano, I need you in long run mentality. We have to have these tires last until the end of this stage. So when your crew chief tells you, Jeff, long run mentality, what does that trigger in your mind behind the wheel?
Cannot spin the rear tires, cannot overwork the front
There's,
tires.
yeah, he's gonna pass Larson at this rate.
But you have to make speed in a way that doesn't make your tires angry is the best way I know how to describe it. Don't overheat that right front tire by driving into the corner too deep. Don't just jump in the gas. Be nice, smooth. But a good handling car like
My
Joey
Lord.
Logano has, I believe that does more to save tires than a driver can. I think the easier you can make
Logano to second, to my
and
chagrin.
drive the car easy, that's on the car, right? Some cars can run a certain speed, but the driver has to drive it harder to go that fast. A car that doesn't have to be driven hard to make a good lap time, that car will save more tires.
What a launch off turn 2 by Joey Logano to just breeze by Kyle Larson. Hey, talking about rubber, talking about tires, have a listen to this recent radio transmission to the 20 of Christopher Bell.
There's bound to be a lot of rubber buildup, huge rubber clods coming off some of these dudes' cars. Copy.
Yeah, the spotter's just telling the crew chief what he's seeing. You know, these tires as they wear, the rubber not only kind of grinds off, but also balls up. So there's the rubber right there kind of sticking on the racetrack. You see that big chunk that balls up. You just wonder, you know, what that does over 500 laps, where that rubber ends up going into the ductwork, into the brake cooling, and some other areas. We'll see if it becomes a story later in the race.
I tell you what I've seen, the speed of the tires fell off a lot quicker yesterday. All this rubber coming off the tire, it seemed like it wasn't falling off very much, but it is now. These last several laps, the speed has come off the race cars. You can see people sliding around a lot more. So late in this run, they become way more difficult to drive well.
88 laps. That's what they've currently run right here. So, to your point, we have found a little bit of a cliff with the tire wear, which is good to know, especially as a crew chief. You'd love to see that. You'd love to know something's out there as we're on board the Toyota onboard.
Blaney's up to 7th.
Inside the final 6 laps of this first stage of the Xfinity 500. And now has lapped all the way to Cole Custer Cole Custer is the last one on the lead lap in 14th. So what an opening stage from William Byron. Exactly what he and the 24 team needed. He has led more laps in this season than any other in his NASCAR Cup Series career.
Chase Elliott getting back to Kyle Larson.
125 thus far today.
This position right here between Elliott and Larson is definitely more important for Larson with 4 to go. Remember, he's in a points battle with Bell, and one of those two will advance on points. For Chase Elliott, he's in a must-win. Now, Chase could care less. He's trying to get all the positions he can before he gets to the end of the stage. We'll see if he's able to do that with Larson. Larson doing a nice job. How about Kyle Busch? I actually have him as a sleeper pick. I thought he looked really good in practice. I mean, he's not very far off. He's running inside the top 20. It's just such a rampant pace early on.
Chase Elliott wants his spot because remember, he lost spots on pit road earlier. The further you come on pit road, the better position you're running, the better opportunity if something bad happens. You
free to go on the stage.
And the one good news of the playoff drivers, as you said, 14 cars on the lead lap. Well, that will make pit road very, very clean during the yellow. Let's see what happens to the 11 right here. Oh,
Gibbs. Oh, clipped. 21 has to go way wide, loses quite a few spots.
See right here, just trying not to hit the 21, gets the front tires locked up. That's how easy you can lose positions.
And all that rubber that we showed on a replay a little bit ago.
Reload real quick.
Sled.
Byron wins. Logano 2nd. Larson 3rd is the stage 1. Elliott 4th. Gibbs 5th. Hamlin 6th. Blaney 7th. Bell 8th. Gillen 9th. Cindric 10th.
That is 5 points guaranteed. So what was a 1-point difference is now a 6-point difference between the 5 and the 20. We'll be tracking that all day long.
William Byron knows he needs to win today for his teammate Kyle Larson. He's racing Christopher Bell, so power to the 2 Hendrick teammates so far. Stage 1, early days here in Martinsville.
I'm starting a new team at a tiny school with an unpronounceable name. Yeah, how?
Hiddleston.
Wow! I'm looking for tumblers and stumblers. I have narcolepsy.
I was going to look up something. What was I going to... Right, points. One from Blaney. Okay, 35, 34. Blaney is now and must win.
February, she was the honorary starter. Congratulations to both of you, and thanks for being Xfinity customers and rewards members. Kind of cool to get that opportunity for both of them. So we're in the stage break. William Byron, the man who dominated this opening stage, he gets to go back to his team here, regroup. They focus on the second stage coming up. Here's Kim Kuhn.
Hey, Salad saying it's all about the rear tires. Early having to ask more of my right rear than I wanted to, but otherwise good. 4 fresh Goodyear tires. Sunoco fuel, no changes for the 9, Parker.
Same comments from his teammate Kyle Larson there, who
10
faded
flat
from
for
second
Elliott.
to
Why
third
are we not
at the end
getting?
of
Look
the
at
run. He
Byron.
said,
Look
I
on
just
the
hurt the rear tire too much, so they'll give a small air pressure adjustment 4 tires. Dave.
7.
Christopher Bell said that car held on way better that time, so just a small adjustment here to keep up with the track, Marty.
Can't have a better stage one than William Byron did. Led every lap of stage one, gets the win. 4 tire stop for this team. Byron said it was a little bit tight at the beginning of the run, but honestly, after that, all I did was manage using that pit stall number 1. The 2014 will easily
Byron,
hold serve here on pit road.
Logano, damn it, Larson, Elliott, Gibbs, Hamlin, Blaney, Bell.
It is the final race in the round of 8. There is just one to go after this. That's why today at Martinsville is so
He's not
important.
led every lap.
Denny Hamlin and Chase Briscoe are already locked in and have a chance to win their first Cup Series title. For everybody else, they're trying to fill those final 2 slots. Who will it be?
This is how you make crispy Korean fried chicken.
Wi-Fi speeds as fast as home, even when you're on the go.
The Sonic $1.99 menu. So much deliciousness for $1.99 each, it'd be impossible to name them all. But I'll try. Gino double cheeseburger, croissant bites, cherry slush, green apple slush with flavor bubbles, cheesy baja, crispy tender wraps. Whew. Get them all on Sonic's $1.99 menu.
Shop bestsellers at Ashley, where no matter what your holiday traditions are, you're always at home. Whether you're making extra room with our extendable dining tables or creating the perfect cozy space with our modular seating. Shop holiday deals and make lifelong memories with Ashley.
There's a method to all this motorsports madness. A reason we do all this shifting, launching, and battling over a bottle of champagne. We harness this and put it in that so you can feel like this. Now you're up to speed. You in?
The championship race is at hand. 4 final contenders line up in the desert. Only one will be champion. A season-long quest boils down to a day. By nightfall, one driver will forever be etched in NASCAR history.
Can you believe what you've just seen? Wow!
The NASCAR Championship from Phoenix, live on NBC and Peacock.
Here's the 22 car driven by 3-time Cup Series champ Joey Logano. He's done that since 2013. NASCAR's first Cup champion, Red Byron, drove it when he won the inaugural championship in 1949. Hall of Famer Fireball Roberts won it 30 times. And Hall of Famer Bobby Allison won his 1983 Cup championship driving the number 22. Dale Jarrett, there is so much in a number, as you know, as a Hall of Famer. I've got a question for you. When you see the 11 of Denny Hamlin, do you think about your dad who famously drove the number 11?
Yeah, really, it's the first thing that comes to my mind, to know all of those years that my dad drove that 11 car, and now to see Denny having the success with it. It's been driven a lot of champions throughout the years, but it's just incredible to see that 11 car and the memories that it brings back. Coming here as a kid, used to be an infield down in there. Kyle Petty and I used to throw a football around while this race was going on.
So much has changed as we get ready for the second stage. What, DJ, what kind of sense do you get from that first stage? I mean, you got the stability of Byron, the progress of Blaney. Logano seems like he's on a bit of a mission. What do you take from that first stage?
Yeah, I think this is a wide open race is what I'm seeing. Obviously, what Byron did was very impressive. Talked about Blaney coming up and getting himself inside the top 10. Just incredible there. But all of the championship drivers, this round of 8 drivers are up there. Chase Briscoe's just outside of the top 10, but the others are right there with an opportunity. A few adjustments by the crew chief and a few adjustments by the drivers. The drivers have to try to keep up with this track. It's going to continue to change.
And Dale, when I look at the leaderboard, we have Gibbs in 5th, a non-playoff driver. But how about just behind the playoff drivers? Cindric, Priest, SVG, and Gillen having a great run as well.
Yeah, sure. How about SVG has become very impressive. Anybody that thought that he couldn't drive an oval, this man's too talented not to catch on at some point. They're giving him good cars, and it's fun to watch what he's doing now.
And don't forget about Austin Dillon. We know how good he is. He is the last car on the lead lap. But
So how many cars are now?
So good at this type of racetrack and with these tires.
So 16 cars on the lead lap. Here we go.
All right, stage break complete. Everybody's ready. Everybody knows what they've got. Here we go.
I'm gonna reload. I'm a ways behind anyway.
This could
Here
be
we
a
go.
very telling stage.
All right, Byron clears Logano.
And whether or not he has a chance to defend his title.
Elliott trying to make the run around the outside of
Lots of racing
Larson.
still here at Martinsville, but this stage could be so important. Here comes Chase Elliott on the higher line of his teammate Kyle Larson. There's the 5 and the 9 side by side.
He's been able to make that lane work earlier in the race, but right now can't seem to clear.
One off, 20 to 11.
But Larson's going to clear. Oh, I was trying to see if he can dive down. Not going to work, though.
Christopher Bell looms large in the background as well. Keep your eye on that 20 this afternoon, because this was the race where it all came undone a year ago that denied him an opportunity to go to Phoenix and race for a championship on the very last lap past Bubba Wallace, and then went
Gibbs
into
up to
turn
4th.
3 and 4 wall, accelerated around, and NASCAR said, no way, you're not allowed to do that anymore, and he was denied a shot at the championship 4.
They all see Chase Elliott on the top of the racetrack. Look at Gibbs trying to get underneath Larson. A little bit of contact.
Able to get there.
That spot was not willing to concede it. But they all see Elliott on the outside, and they want to take advantage of this. You see, we started this race out talking about drivers having to save tires. Without as much tire wear as what we anticipated, now as a driver, I'm questioning myself. How hard can I run right here? If I do run hard, we don't really know what the result is going to be later in the run. But
Gibbs is up to
point, if you're
4th.
Chase
Elliott can't slide in yet.
On the outside, you got to get yourself to the bottom.
I think that's the key. There's a time and a place. So I think that they improved tire wear.
Nope, Bells was inside.
And a lot to do with what the drivers have done, the mentality going in. So we'll see if someone decides to push the issue a little bit right here. But I agree with you. The 9 car is going to have to work a little harder in that second lane.
They all know it, right? They all, these are smart race car drivers. They all going to take advantage of a weakness that you're showing. They know you're going to have to work harder on that outside lane. Do not let him in.
And all of a sudden in this front group, we can now talk about Ryan Blaney. There's the 12 right behind Denny Hamlin. Incredibly
Already getting to the back of the field, my God.
Step by step, pass by pass, first stage. And now he can focus forward on trying to win this particular fall race for the 3rd year in a row.
And I always love to see when a car comes from the back. We know he's better than the mid-tier cars, but now he's here. Now he's at the heavyweight fight at the front. We'll see if the 12 can continue to go forward, if he kind of levels out.
Elliott
so far,
can't find a spot in line.
Really rolling the corner.
Look at the 9 of Chase Elliott. He has an opportunity right here to back up, get behind the 12, get in front of the 2, continues to fight on the outside. That allows the 2 to get to the rear bumper of the 12. Now that opportunity to fall in behind has been taken away. So right here, there's a spot. Just can't quite make it happen.
Austin Dillon hasn't pit since lap 29.
Kind of comfortable running the outside. I think he is losing spots, but to your point, Jeff, I don't see him fighting his way to the bottom. Kim.
Well, I would explain why there's so many cars a lap down still.
Listen to the radio from the 12 team.
Elliott has slotted in ahead of Hamlin. Laney reporting vibration on the brakes.
So they told him all of the wheels were tight on that last stop. So Jeff, if it's not a loose wheel, what is causing that feeling that Blaney has behind the wheel?
It could be brakes, right? We have to talk about brake shake every now and then here. Brakes are vibrating, the rotors, the brake pads aren't exactly lined up the way they need to be.
So far, so good though. Doesn't seem to be affecting Blaney too badly. William Byron continues to lead, just over half a second over Joey Logano. There's that gap, top of your screen. A little bit of breathing room for William.
The 3 is going to get run down.
And Ross Chastain from a few moments ago. Check this out.
Trying to get on Custer. Is on the lead lap. Whoa, 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 oh my God. Good.
Everybody just trying to make it.
Ross is a lap down. Custer's on the lead lap.
Underneath the 41 of Custer.
Yeah, he's not going to love that.
No, nor is the 23, because he got shoved out 3 wide.
And as they run right now, Custer's shuffled behind.
They're going to get to the 3. Like within a lap or so.
And the 23 and the 8. As we go on board with thanks to Napa, here's Chase Elliott.
Come on. Oh, he's going to swing it in left. All right, Elliott to the inside of Bell for 5th place. Oh, Bell got a good run off the turn there. Probably because Elliott didn't have a great entry. But here he goes for 5th place.
Where that 9's going to work better. Saw him on the outside line continually. Now he's been able to
Larson's getting to Logano.
Jeff, as a Martinsville winner, what was your preferred area on the track? Where did you find that you were able to get the best speed and tire life?
You know, what I like about we've seen Blaney, you see right here.
Larson trying to make an outside pass, or maybe just cut down to the inside like Elliott's done.
It really depends. I mean, Steven,
that one time did not work that well.
Depends on how the rubber's building up on the racetrack. And you never
There's
really
the
know.
3 up ahead.
Here, but there were some races where the middle has been really good. I still believe as this race evolves, we don't really have the answer yet about where you really want to be when it becomes winning time.
The anchor that is crawling around the track.
The ability of some of these cars to be able to do this.
24 gets around him.
Turn low, corner exit, going around the 3
15 cars in the lead lap.
We know how good he is on this type of racetrack. What they did was they did not pit this time. They took the wave around, which means the last time they pitted was lap 30. So he has a ton of laps on his tires, just trying to gamble, hoping for a quick caution right there.
It didn't happen.
And you want to see what makes you one of the best defenders in the field. Watch what Joey Logano does. He's not really concerned with the 5 car, but he kind of rolls in here. And look how low he exits. I mean, he just exits so low, it doesn't give the 5 an opportunity to kind of turn underneath him.
I do think it's interesting, Steve. From a driver's standpoint, part of this race is playing defense, right? And when you only have to protect the bottom, that makes defense a lot easier. But we've seen cars be able to jump on the outside.
Trying to pull away a bit from Larson.
Play defense. Which lane do I block on corner entry? It's hard to block both.
This is what I talked about right here. Joey Logano, #1 when it comes
Wait,
to
when is Elliott #2?
Ross Chastain, no surprise, at #3. And, you know, a lot of that comes down to mistakes. Joey doesn't make a whole lot of mistakes. And he also, I think, can shift his mind to imagine what it's like following him, right? If he puts himself in the trailing car and he just really puts his car in the right position, like I said, low on exit. Like, watch this 22 right here. He's a half a groove up, giving the curve to the 5. And now watch how low he exits. I mean, he's low. He doesn't even slide out to the wall like cars do.
And while you talk about defending and his defense, he said yesterday, people think that I've won 3 titles and I'm just going to cruise for the rest of my career. No way. I want more championships.
Your pride and joy is measured in acres. Keep them looking their best with the Kubota lineup. versatile sidekick utility vehicles, the #1 selling compact tractor in the U.S., professional grade mowers for a professional cut. It's equipment built with one purpose: to get the job done right.
Happy birthday, Grandpa.
Any words of wisdom for the family?
Eat more wings.
Wow. Let that sink in. Kids, I think you'd all agree that these were words that your grandfather used.
You can run the perfect race.
Denny Hamlin leading the pack on the final lap.
And then, boom.
Well, looks like Gibbs is the parachute, is the anchor here.
That's true in
Wait,
racing.
oh, but Elliott got
And
back around Gibbs, so that
debt
means
gets
he's in
hard.
fourth.
National Debt Relief helps you take control, so you can pay less than you owe in less time than you think. When life wrecks your finances, National Debt Relief helps you get back on track. Visit nationaldebtrelief.com to get started today.
Drive Time makes it easy to buy a car. We've got thousands of cars under 15 grand.
I can change my down payment? I never had this kind of power. Boom! Lower! I'm making my own deal on all these cars!
This is a commercial. Go get your real deal at drivetime.com.
With Straight Talk's real unlimited data, say yes a lot more.
Can I call Grandma? Yes.
Yes to unlimited video calling.
Oh, hi, sweetie. Oh, this sweater would look so
Yes to unlimited gifting.
Yes.
With Straight Talk, say yes to unlimited holiday moments.
No.
Let the yes-tivities begin.
Yes.
Switch now for plans starting at...
Alrighty.
In the spring, he's got 2 Truck Series wins. When I spoke to his crew chief, Charles, tonight,
2013 and 2014 were his truck wins at Martinsville. The 2013 race was his first win in NASCAR.
Well, that hasn't been the case right here. A lap down in 19th, unfortunately,
Of course,
just not
they'll
showing
be in the
that
Kyle
same
Busch
pace they had
Motorsports
yesterday
video.
in practice. And we've talked about throughout the first portion of this race. In practice, it seemed like this might be a tire conservation race that hasn't quite showed up, and sometimes that affects the speed that you think you have in your race car, like we've seen out of Bubba Wallace's 23 today.
Didn't quite make the round of 8, but is on target to finish in the top 10 in the 2025 NASCAR Cup Series points.
Well, and it's hard to imagine, you know, he's a lap down, which sounds so negative, but he's only 19th. You know, it was quite an impressive first stage.
This is what it looks like, with thanks to HendrickCars.com, to be chasing down Joey Logano here at Martinsville.
Approaching lap traffic again.
Parker, tell us more about Larson.
A couple laps ago, we had those onboards looking at Kyle and Joe Logano, who's just ahead of him. And you might have noticed their right hand not actually shifting. Take a listen to the 5's radio.
Is he fourth gear? I think you asked if he was in fourth gear, and he stopped shifting about the time you stopped shifting. William has been shifting the whole time.
And that's the big deal as you look at some of these guys trying to just have longevity through the runs here, is to stop that shifting. And Jeff, you know, this is one of the things with this next-gen car. To make a fast lap, you can shift and get those RPMs and then launch off the corner. But if you want to save those rear tires and make them last in the long run, you don't want to put all that energy through them by shifting and still be able to make lap time without it.
It does help the rear tires, but I tell you one thing it does hurt is that when you downshift, it puts RPMs to the engine, and that helps brake the car. And so if you're going to slow the car down, now you have to use more brake if you're not downshifting. See, William Byron, he downshifts. He's probably having to use a little less brake than the other guys.
He's approaching him. I think that's McDowell up ahead.
The gear slows the car down more.
Third and fourth. This is a 5-speed transmission, but the way the ratios work out here, you'll see right here he's going to go between third and fourth gear. So no fifth gear used. The other part to that, Jeff, is just if the car rolls in the middle of the corner good enough, you might just stay, you could say, in fourth. Especially if you're not in traffic. You know, in traffic, I think third gear is probably a pretty big advantage.
Marty, what you got?
When Byron called traffic last time, Lee, that's where Joey Logano really made up some ground. But it's interesting. We talked about it in Countdown to Green. This new left side tire was the talk of practice. It was the talk of the garage area this morning. But I got to tell you, after 93 green flag laps on the last run, the tires look pretty good. So with that change strategy, this is what Rudy Fugle told William Byron before they went back green.
It's close, but looking like we could run it out here. So we'll see. I think a lot of those guys struggle so bad that they're going to want to pit, so that may force our hand. So we'll just be ready. We'll see what happens. Yeah, copy.
Battle for sixth place between Bell and Hamlin. Blaney has not been able to progress.
But now they're thinking they would run it out. So as a crew chief, do you sort of unleash your driver and say, hey, drive as hard as you want now? We're not seeing the wear that we thought we would so far in this race.
I don't think you could drive as hard as you want. I still think the improved wear is because the drivers are this good. I just think they have a knack to understand tire grip. And it's kind of like someone who's never run a mile before. They have no idea how to run the first lap around the track, Diff, right? I got to do 4 of these, so is this too hard? Not hard enough? I don't know. Or if you've trained for a mile your whole life, you know exactly what pace you need to leave the blocks from. These drivers are the best of the best. They know what 95% is, 92%, 88%. I couldn't match my lap time.
Ooh, here comes Hamlin trying to get the run on Bell. Oh. I think he's going to shoot it into turn 3 here.
They drive with the scalpel, and I think some of this tire life is part of that.
You're right. He's to the bumper.
Plenty of attention
the inside.
On those vying for the championship 4, and understandably so. Today is an elimination race, and William Byron out in front has never won an elimination race. But how about everybody else? Well, the pack.
Logano has won an elimination race. Larson has not won an elimination race. No, that's actually he won Bristol, but he's not in danger. Elliott has won elimination races.
He started on the front row.
Hamlin, I think, might have done it once. Bell has won an elimination race twice.
For Team Penske, there he is there. Austin Cindric, he runs in 9th. Behind him, Ryan Preece is in 10th. Todd Gilliland of that runner-up finish a week ago. Gilliland's in 11th, and SVG Shane Van Gisbergen runs in 12th. So there's some non-playoff drivers in pretty prominent positions here in Martinsville this afternoon doing a really nice job.
We talk about patience at this racetrack. Denny Hamlin has been using it. Racing this 20 car, Denny's faster, but he has not moved the 20 out of the way. But now here comes the 12. Now the 12 is starting to put a little bit of pressure on Denny. Now Denny's got to go, right? You cannot be patient enough to where the guy behind you, he can get by you. Like both of these cars are just a little bit quicker than Bell. You see Denny changing his mindset here a little bit, trying to enter high and was wanting to exit low. Listen to what they're talking about.
Come on, man. He's been close enough long enough. Let him go.
Blaney gets by Hamlin.
I'm not real sure what he was referring to right there.
He's been close enough, long enough, just let him go. Not quite sure either. So a little frustration there from Denny Hamlin, one of the 2 drivers already locked into the championship 4. 188 laps today. He's being chased by a guy who's won 6 elimination races in Joey Logano. But Joey's a second and a half further back. Then Larson, then Elliott. And then we get into this zone here with Gibbs, Bell, Blaney, and Hamlin. Here's the race leader.
Yeah, and he's now back into lead lap cars, right? Tyler Reddick right there. He's 15th. That's the last car in the lead lap. He was now a lap down. Cole Custer up the road about a quarter of a lap in that 41 car, the maroon 41.
Oh, God, that's a huge gaggle of cars.
And these other cars that are already 1 lap
Stuck.
down, you're now fighting to not go 2 laps down. That could really hurt your chances in the day. Remember, we've only run 54 laps right here under green, 65 to go in this stage. So I think that Denny Hamlin is also just remaining patient around the curve. I think he understands just how long a 500-lap race is here at Martinsville.
There's the 16 of A.J. Allmendinger, that huge crash while leading last week at Talladega. Fortunately, he bounced back pretty quickly this week.
Chevy makes America's most dependable trucks, like the rugged Colorado,
14 cars in the lead lap.
Silverado 1500, the powerful Silverado HD, and the uncompromising Silverado EV. In every Chevy truck, dependability comes standard.
It's Chevy Truck Month. Well-qualified buyers can get 2.9% financing for 72 months on all Silverado 1500 models.
Chevrolet. Together, let's drive.
The Sonic $1.99 menu. So much deliciousness for $1.99.
Blaney to the inside of Bell for 6.
I'll try. Junior double cheeseburger, croissant bites, cherry slush, green apple slush with flavor bubbles, cheesy baja, crispy tender wraps. Whew. Get them all on Sonic's $1.99 menu.
Valvoline Restore and Protect. A first-of-its-kind innovation that returns pistons to factory clean by removing up to 100% of deposits. Restore your engine to perform like new. Restore and Protect. Another first from Valvoline.
Work versus fun. Know the difference.
My seminars are a great way to connect with young homeowners turning into
What the hell?
Breaking down
There we go.
cardboard is something you have to do, not something you get to do.
Lawn care is not a hobby.
I'm not trying to hurt you, just trying to be honest with you.
Watching a neighbor get his tree removed is not a weekend plan.
Hey, let's give it up for that guy.
Progressive can't protect you from becoming your parents, but we can protect your home and auto when you bundle with us.
You're watching TV, not supervising it. Sit down and relax.
Blaney, Hamlin trying to get by Bell again as well. Okay.
You know, 18 years of my career. It's really special.
.58 laps to go, stage 2. Here in Martinsville, the Xfinity 500, the elimination race to decide the final 4, the championship 4 for next weekend in Phoenix, Arizona. Denny Hamlin and Chase Briscoe are already in that. So 6 drivers going for 2 positions. And we ride with thanks to Toyota with Christopher Bell. He's one of those 6 drivers trying to get his way in for a shot at a championship.
Oh, he stuck way outside. I mean, he got passed by Priest. Priest is lead lap. Cindric is right behind. Oh, it's Ty Dillon who is not on the lead lap.
Dave, unfortunately, it's going the wrong direction at the moment for Christopher Bell.
It is. Remember what the complaint was before the last pit stop, which was on the long run.
Here, Elliott Larson to the inside of Logano. Logano stuck behind Stenhouse. Larson, come on! Oh, he's pinched behind the 47. And look, Larson to P2. There we go. And there's Chase Elliott. He's coming too.
So that's really nice for the 5. It continues to move up. Just trying to continue to...
Come on! Come on!
Bell in points. Remember, just a points battle between the 5 and the 20. The 9's going to now try to get to the inside of the 47.
This is the time of the last run, Steve, lap 65, where we started to see a change in whose car drove well and who didn't.
24 is still driving well. It's just lapping the lead lap cars, which is the issue.
It's just not like how he needs it to be.
Well, the difference was the last run was going to be 90 laps.
My leaderboard got frozen.
125.
There we go.
You know, if you struggle the last 15 laps of the last stage, you're going to struggle for the last 35 laps of that stage. It's going to be a lot more time to lose.
Bell is plummeting.
Right? It can go away so quick. Bell, who's only 7 seconds behind the leader, as he starts to get passed by cars like Todd Gilliland right here for 11th, right? Next thing you know, that leader's going to be on the same straight as you behind you.
What a good day for Todd Gilliland. Currently passing Bell. That puts him in the top 10. Remember last week, he had a legitimate shot to win that race.
Yeah.
Up front, late in the race, didn't work out, but this team's starting to come together over the last few weeks.
He loves this place too. Got his first Truck Series race win here. Proudly shows off that grandfather.
SVG is going to get 5 Bell. There's Allmendinger on the inside. I guess he just hit.
That his teammates remain the same at Front Row Motorsports next year as well.
16 of age, Allmendinger's going to look like he's Superman right here because he's off from pit road with fresh tires. You got a whole mix in the field. I think the leaders, as Marty was talking about earlier, are just going to run the stage all the way through. Lap down cars, though, can get to the point where they're handling so poorly they needed to change tires. I think that's what's happened to Allmendinger now, 4 laps down to 35th.
Briscoe is also on the... Man, the 20... Why is it... What happened to Bell? He fell off like a stone.
Spoke about this earlier in the show. Wow.
Well, a piece of rubber just shat itself out of the tire. Well,
when it bounces off the car, the hood, the windshield. But if you get stuck inside the wheel well, it could create a shake on the wheels. It could hurt cooling. It could pile up in an area where, you know, we have seen fires before. We hope that's not the case here. But with that much rubber all over the racetrack, every time we go to an onboard, and you just
Ty Dillon working by Nemechek and Gregson. There's Chase Elliott trying to work through. He's trying to get up to Logano.
That 10 car, we talked about the
Leaderboard. The leaderboard's frozen. God damn it.
He has much newer tires than these guys. You can see how he can easily maneuver around the 22. He's running third.
And why you wouldn't power, you know, you can't pit here.
What?
It costs about 22 seconds plus a pit stop. So call it 33 to 35 seconds. Problem is, that's a lap and a half. You give up a lot of time. You'll be a lap down for a pretty good window of time, which is a big risk.
Kim Kuhn, tell us more about Chase Elliott.
Yeah, you guys have been talking just about some different strategies, specifically the guys that are a lap down. But what about the leaders? Remember, Marty had the conversation earlier in the stage about Byron and kind of what they were thinking about for this stage. Here was the communication about strategy for Chase Elliott in the 19.
Oh, you're talking about going the full 20.
Oh, I just saw him. There's Hocevar around in turn 2.
Caution is out. And is that the 77 of Carson Hocevar? Indeed it is.
Carson's being shown 2 laps down right now. Trying to get turned around, get in front of the 24 car. He's able to do it to keep from losing another lap.
Carson was 25th at the time.
This will bring all of the leaders to pit road for a new set of tires. The 1 lap down cars may pit, or I can make an argument you want to stay out on the racetrack and try to get really lucky.
Let's take a look at what happened to Carson Hocevar. First car in shot.
Oh, it looks like Suarez behind him. 99. Hard to tell from that angle if there was contact. It is an odd spot to spin out by yourself.
Oh, lucky for Kyle Larson. Watch this.
That is bottom. That shows you how quickly things can change, right? Could have easily gotten in that.
It was hard to tell if there was contact. Remember, that's where Suarez is going, is to Spire, so you would think Hocevar wouldn't want to send his future teammate around.
Pit road's getting super busy. Here they come.
Yeah, and originally they were going to run it out to the end of the stage. Obviously, this caution changes things for Chase. He said he turned a little bit better, but had to protect his rears late. No changes, 4 fresh Goodyear tires, Sunoco fuel, Parker.
It was the same plan for his teammate Kyle Larson, whose only remark on the radio was, "I feel good just taking care of it, Dave."
Christopher Bell lost 4 positions over that run. He was asked, what do you need? He said, we have to have it turning better, especially entry to center. Marty, adjustment here.
Rudy Fugle wanted William Byron to go a little bit wider in his stall. You see him hit that tape right on the left front tire. He said
Stop.
tight in the
Yeah.
heavier
All right. Byron, Elliott, Larson. No, Larson, Logano, Elliott, Gibbs, Blaney, Hamlin, Bell, Cendric,
Good stuff, Marty. What a fascinating combo of tracks for the round of 8. Las Vegas Motor Speedway was a highly eventful day and one of Denny Hamlin's best wins. And then Talladega for Chase Briscoe's first ever Super Speedway win. And here at the half-mile historic Martinsville Speedway.
Was that the nut was too tight, basically, so they had to work to get it loose, and that was part of the issue here for the 19 of Chase Briscoe. Eventually got that.
There's already the second less than we
You'll
left.
see them go around. That was the issue there.
So what happens is with these aluminum wheels, it's easy to get the guns over tight. So on the right-hand side, that's a normal pick gun that you use. There's a pre-approved
Now 17 cars
when
in the
I
lead
mean
lap.
heavy duty, this thing is nothing you want to use for a pit box. It weighs a tremendous amount, but each team has one. You come back, you unplug the main gun, you plug in this super heavy duty like you're changing tires on a semi-truck on the side of the interstate, and you knock that wheel nut off. Why it matters is because with the brake temperature and the aluminum wheel, if you aren't careful, you can over-tighten a wheel. And that nut will not come off. So you just wonder, Jeff, if this is a sign of things to come or if this is just an isolated issue.
Stand back, everybody. We're bringing in Gigantor.
Oh, I'm telling you. Yeah, that would be enough reason I couldn't. That'd be one of the many reasons I couldn't change tires, because I don't think I'm going to pick that thing up and run around.
He was a tire carrier, though.
All right, everybody's stacked up and ready to go. William Byron has never led this many laps at any track in his
Here we go, green, green, green.
career. He sees the green. Let's get back to racing with 37 laps to go in stage 2.
Gonna get right around his teammate. Ellie gonna try and get around Larson on the outside.
It's a Hendrick Motorsports 1, 2, 3.
Now Blaney is now up to the top 5 for the first time.
And 2 Team Penske cars right behind. Here comes Ryan Blaney on
Elliott
the
in front of Logano.
Joey Logano down into turn 3, down into turn 1.
Chase Elliott went to the bottom to block the 22. That slowed them both down. Blaney jumped to the outside. Look at the advance that allowed Blaney to make.
Only 36 to go in the stage, so when we asked how hard these guys could run if they had
Now we'll see.
unlimited tire life, you're starting to see it, and with that, the 24 of William Byron sets the fastest lap of the race at lap 2.
All right, new fastest lap.
And
Logano's back in 5th.
who was flailing DJ towards the end of that
Ooh.
last run. He's already back. He's re-energized. He's back in the mix.
Yeah, it could have been a championship-saving opportunity for Christopher Bell and his team right there. They were outside of the top 10 getting no stage points. Larson was running second. He was going to have to beat the 5-car by 10 or 11 spots at the end of this race. So let's see what he can make the most of this run here with these fresh tires and probably an adjustment to his car.
Yeah, look at all the drivers at the front of the pack that have to win to advance themselves into the championship four next weekend.
All of them are in the top 5.
A lot of them that have a chance to make it happen, and that puts a ton of pressure on that 5 and that 20 to try to gain points.
In this snapshot right here, these 3 drivers must win today.
Ooh, Elliott getting up into Blaney.
From Joey Logano, his teammate Ryan Blaney to the left. Chase Elliott.
Tell me I don't see smoke coming out of the right rear.
3 drivers.
And the guy leading the race, right? So every one of them is in position to make it happen.
Crazy. Of the 6 drivers racing for 2 spots, 4 of them, Stevie, are champions.
Well, and that's what makes this playoff field just so impressive this year. It's the
Caution.
heavyweights of all heavyweights. As you see, the caution comes out.
Custer.
Cole Custer in that 41 scheme spun around. All 4 tires are aired up.
Cole's running 50, in the 15th place. Around that, he's been able to stay in the lead lap. He's been having a good day. Fortunately, he's able to stay in the lead lap right here.
Some drivers that were a lap down that decided to wave around. If Ross Chastain and Eric Jones will now be able to pit. Let's see. Oh, they all stack up. 48 into the 21, 21 into the 41. Won't be the last time we see a stack up like that.
That's been going on as long as they built this racetrack.
Yeah, which with the 6, it happens right in front of him. He has to make a decision, low or high. And
Oh! That was Keselowski.
Does he make contact here? No.
Man.
Nicely done, Brad Keselowski.
See how he got off the brakes at the last second? He had everything locked up. And then at the last second, he got off the brakes, and that allowed the car to turn. If he could have stayed on the brakes, he would have just absolutely destroyed the wall. Good job.
Now it's interesting because Josh Berry, Alex Bowman were right around the free pass position. So the 21 is awarded the free pass. So that put the 21 back on the lead lap.
Time to take a look at today's Safe Light lap leaders. It's kind of comedic, this one a little bit. It's this guy right here, William Byron. There have been 2 leaders technically. Michael McDowell did lead 5 laps. Remember when he did that 2-tire change and won the race off pit road? But it's William Byron to the tune of 226 laps led.
William's doing exactly what he talked about this week to me. He said he's come into this race before where he kind of had to count points, right? And it's very complicated. Like, what are we going to do? Don't want to make a mistake. But the entire effort today is to win, period. Win the race. He said he didn't like to be in that position. On the other hand, it was almost freeing a little bit. Now, I know what I got to do. It's almost a little bit relaxing that we have one thing we got to make happen, and that's go win this race.
NASCAR is going to change their mind on the free pass. I was wondering if it was going to be involved in the incident. So you see the 21. Now, I could argue that the 21 was just a bystander and got shifted by the 48, but I'm not the official. So
well, he does hit the back of
no doubt that the contact from the 21 to the 41 creates yellow, and NASCAR has every right to say that, hey, you can't get the free pass when you do it that way.
And you can understand
Some
that
cars are pitting.
I'm okay with that call. Listen, I could argue both sides of that one, but
See how Brad Keselowski saw that. Look to your left. And the 2-time Martinsville winner squeezes his way around.
The Busch Guide, cold and smooth survival skills. To avoid going in circles, make note of recognizable landmarks, like that.
What's wrong with going in circles?
Different circles, Ross.
Okay.
Head for the mountains.
So there I was, scrolling eBay.
When I saw this.
Still in the box. It's like the exact same one my mom wore.
This whole time, it was right there on eBay.
Millions of finds, each with a story. eBay.
At Texas A&M University, we believe everything is possible.
Literally everything.
While some strive to be the best in the world, Texas A&M stands to be the best for the world. When we stand together, we are a powerful force, a force for good.
There goes Jordan Stoll.
Jordan, you got company. Are those saw blades?
And when he hits the 41 and spins it around,
Wait, what Ford is that? It's
determines that the 21 was involved in the incident,
Barry.
so therefore they don't award him the free pass. I can see that perspective. I will tell you, though, if you're a Josh Berry fan and you're frustrated, I can see the perspective that the 48 sent the 21 down in there. I mean, it was a short track wreck. It's easy to assign blame. I could argue both sides of it. I guess it depends on who you're a fan of. Now, if you're a fan of Cole Custer, you don't care about either of the two guys behind you. Your guy was backwards.
Clearly, the reason that NASCAR has the rule, if you're involved in the incident, you cannot take the free pass, is to keep drivers from spending someone else to get the free pass.
Yeah, if you would do that.
That is why they have that rule.
Drivers.
They would do worse than that.
When they come to the line, it's
all right. Here we go. Green, green, green again.
Stage 2, William Byron, who has been dominant today. He's got his teammate on the inside in Kyle Larson. Here comes Ryan Blaney.
Blaney's on the
Ryan
outside.
Blaney, who started this Xfinity 500 in 31st position.
Is up to
and
second.
Racing his way and fighting with Kyle Larson for second. He could possibly win this stage in an incredible come through the field. The two-time and defending winner of this fall Martinsville race has got a shot at second, up in that second groove.
Teammates working with each other on that restart. Hendrick Motorsports planned that out to let the 24 go in front of the 5. Nothing wrong with that. We've seen it over and over and over.
Ooh, 5 getting a little more physical there with Blaney. But Blaney up to second.
Little contact there from Larson to the 12. Nothing too serious. And now
Elliott's by Logano for
Blaney has
fourth.
all eyes on William Byron. Points aren't going to be enough today for Ryan Blaney or Joey Logano. It's a
Blaney
win
is
and get in
definitively in a
scenario, but the same
must-win.
for William Byron.
The key to this run right here for me, if I'm Blaney, is now I understand exactly what my car needs to do if I'm going to win this race.
Yeah.
Right? We know he could pass. He knows he could pass. But okay, now
Bell's by Logano.
against the 24, who's been the dominant car all day. What do we have to do? This run, the information that he's learning that he can relay to his team is valuable for him to try to get a win today.
Well, if I'm Brady Fugal, too, I'm reminding the 24 to check his mirror.
Around goes Cody
We're not
Ware.
as good as we once thought we were. The 12.
Oh, he lost the wheel.
51 spin around. That'll bring out the yellow.
Field compact, but they gather their speed up in
His
enough time
right
not
rear.
to put Cody Ware in a more awkward position.
Seen this multiple times with this team.
Yep.
Wheels coming off after a pit stop.
Let's see what happened here with Cody and the Rexzilla Ford.
It's just nothing you can do as a driver, right? Wheels loose, tires down, wheel comes off. is completely out of your control.
Well, Josh Berry, the good news for the 21 is I think he might actually get the free pass this time. He was able to hold off the 48 of Bowman. He scored. We'll see if NASCAR has to say.
Interesting time for him, too, because he'll be able to come down pit road pit. He'll have to start at the tail end of the longest line, but the caution's coming out for the stage end, right? He'll probably stay out then. He could gain a ton of track position over the next caution.
We spoke about last week at Talladega about having a wingman, helping out your teammate or teammates, plural. Well, Josh Berry in the Wood Brothers Ford, of course, that association and that alliance with Team Penske here appropriately on screen. What can Josh do today that may be able to help the 12 and or the 22? We'll see.
And Jeff, I will say that if you don't need points, so basically the 5 and the 20, now might be the time to pit. This is that caution that could break the field up a little bit, because I agree with you, Jeff, with only 17 to go, probably 10 to go, we take the end of the stage. I believe you have to make your pit stop now if you're William Byron. I don't think you can afford to run 10 more laps and then just pit, because you're going to get cycled behind cars on just a few lap old tires.
And there were several cars starting at SVG. They pitted on lap 233, right?
Yeah, they're going to stay out here, I bet.
When you had a crucial stop coming up, Stevie, what did you say on the radio as a crew chief? Did you get everyone fired up, or you just said everybody knows what they're going to do? Everybody do your job.
Yeah, absolutely.
Let's execute.
I didn't even really reference it. Split decision at the front of the field. You see Blaney come in, Hendrick cars stay out. I thought there may be some different decisions. This will split it. Byron holds position. 12 on pit road, Kim.
Yeah, last minute decision to bring him down pit road. He said it just was a little bit tight on the short run. Keep that in mind for the end of the race. 4 fresh Goodyear tires, slight air pressure, Sunoco fuel, Dave.
Denny Hamlin wants 4 fresh tires and an adjustment as well. He brings it down. Crew goes to work, Marty.
Joey Logano was told by Coleman Presley follow the majority.
Wait, F1's about to start.
A couple pulled off in front of Joey Logano. He came down pit road, said he's a little bit too tight in the center of the corner. That's his biggest issue. Maybe 4 tires here for that 22. Clean stop for that bunch as well. And a track race off 3 wide off pit road, Lee.
That was super tight. Super tight between Hamlin, Logano, and Gibbs, with Cindric with a front row view. Here's why we're under caution late in stage 2. Unfortunately, Cody Ware lost a win.
All right, hold on.
Crucial race. We're awaiting the start for the 71-lap contest with 5 Grand Prix remaining. And there are the standings on the left-hand side of your pitch.
Piastri is 14 points ahead of Lando Norris. Verstappen is 40
less air
behind.
going into the radiators to cool the engines. You don't want to be sitting on the starting grid for a long time, because the way these Formula One cars cool is if they're moving. You get air coming through. They don't have a fan like your road cars when you're parked at the traffic lights. And I've just seen Lando Norris, he's coming through the penultimate corner. Franco Colapinto is the last car on the grid, is still at turn 6. He's more than halfway around the lap behind. So
I know it's a slow lap, but that's a long way behind.
Well, it's also the 3rd shortest lap, so I'm a bit confused. But at this rate, Lando's going to be sitting on pole position for quite some time.
He's got a 4-second gap to Lance Stroll, who he starts alongside Franco Colapinto, and he does need to get a bit of a move on. Nico Hülkenberg is reporting that he doesn't have full power, and he's got vibrations on his brake pedal as well. Hülkenberg
man, what are we doing?
13th, hasn't made his way onto the grid yet, but our pole sitter has. Lando Norris up against Charles Leclerc. A week ago in Austin, Charles Leclerc rather spoiled Lando Norris's afternoon by jumping him at the start. He's going to spoil a lot more than just one afternoon if he does that today. Lewis Hamilton starts 3rd. Now, he started 3rd here in 2019 and went on to win the race.
Yeah, for any of you who saw the Skypad I did earlier, the leader at the end of the opening lap has only been the pole man once in the last 4 starts here. So there's a lot of pressure on the launch because you've got that long drag to turn 1. The Ferraris will pick up the slipstream. But which side do they go? Does the gap open up on the left, on the clean side for Lewis Hamilton? Will he end up in a situation where he has to bail across the grass? Saw Ferrari doing that a couple of times before. All will be revealed in about 20 seconds time.
Blaney loose lug nut?
Inside at turn 1 or swoop round the outside?
I go left, outside.
Always left, says Karun Shandok. Right, here we go. 71 laps ahead of us. The Mexico City Grand Prix, round 20.
Here we go.
Sound, away we go. And it's
see the first lap or so. Norris with a fantastic start.
Hamilton's already coming at his teammate, and Max Verstappen has got a decent launch too, and he's already
Verstappen up to 4th.
As we accelerate towards turn 1.
Trying to make a 3 wide. He's made a 3 wide pass. Oh! Stuck on the outside. Oh, he locks it up. He goes way off.
Norris manages to keep hold of the lead.
Verstappen chokes.
Off the track too. That's going to allow Lewis Hamilton through. No, it's not. Leclerc's gone into the lead of this race.
Leclerc's leading. How did that happen?
The track, and Lando Norris now retakes that lead as the Ferrari slows down. Max Verstappen, though, is in 3rd place currently ahead of Lewis Hamilton.
Wait, he's in 3rd? How?
Surely, and I think has.
Yeah, we saw several cars going off. Oh, bit of contact there.
How did he get back to 3rd?
George Russell on Verstappen, maybe.
Yeah, Verstappen on Hamilton.
Spinning round at the back.
Oh.
That looks like an Aston Martin of Lance
Stroll.
And it is. And Colapinto's involved in that too. A massive kerfuffle.
Wait,
at the start here.
where's now Max is in 4th?
In front, and now accelerating
Can't even.
clear.
And Oli Behrman's up into 6th place in the middle of all that mayhem there.
Okay.
So,
I'll go back to that. Anyway, we restarted. 9 to go.
Before they got here, dirt track racing around the country. They know each other well. They love to compete against each other. A ton of respect. Chase Elliott nowhere to go.
Great view from the Napa on board. Look how tight it is between Larson and Bell.
I could barely tell what happened that last lap. The first lap of the F1 race. Although I need to rewatch, I need to see the end of this race first. End of stage 1.
Push that issue right now, I don't think.
Bottom box of those who pitted during that last caution. All right, so now Larson has the slight advantage over Bell.
Wait, all pit. What?
Final 5 laps of this stage coming up.
Curb wrap, rear detached, 5-4. Curb wrap. That just simply means put the left side tires right on that curb. Do not give anybody the bottom of the racetrack.
Your bottom. Inside is there. He's there.
Gibbs and Ross battling it out. That's for wait, there are 18 cars in lead lap. Wait, why is Gibbs so far back?
34 for Front Row Motorsports. Todd Gilliland runs in 5th at the moment, behind some of the biggest names in the sport.
No, he's not.
Awesome performance.
He's
from
in
that
14th.
young driver. 2nd week in a row.
All the young
Or maybe
drivers for that team are announced coming back next year.
Oh, never mind. So maybe cars just
Gilliland,
pit.
Zane Smith.
I'm just an idiot.
The 9 is putting the heat to the 20 of Bell. Only about another mile to go.
All right.
Less than at this point. Can
Coming
Bell
to the
hold
last
on?
lap of stage 2.
A little bit of contact there.
And if you're Chase, you would love to pass the 20, help your teammate out with that point, but you really want to make an enemy along the way, so I think he would take it if he has a clean shot at it, but I think the 20 is going to get the job done.
And yet again, William Byron is able to stretch the advantage.
All right, Byron wins stage 2. Larson 2nd, Bell 3rd, Elliott 4th, Gilliland 5th, Briscoe 6th, Free 7th, SVG 8th, Reddick 9th, Jones 10th.
So, 2 stage wins for William Byron. 3rd time this year that he's swept the stages. Is today his day after 2 really rugged weekends for the driver of the 24? The question's going to be answered over a lengthy stage 3 when we come back.
Okay, back. Let's see if I can see this. All right.
So maybe he's got to use a bit of imagination.
Piastri lost the position to 9th. Come on, man.
Isn't expecting it. Yuki Tsunoda got a brief outing onto the track in an old Honda from 60 years ago earlier today, celebrating 60 years since Honda's first win in Formula One with Richie Ginther here in Mexico City. No celebrations at the moment for Oscar Piastri, down in 9th place, whilst his teammate continues out in front and is managing the pace nicely, keeping Leclerc about 2 seconds behind him.
Yeah, critically, he's broken the DRS, hasn't he? So he is cleared away.
They're like, no one's in
the two Ferraris. At the moment, Hamilton just over a second, so he won't get on this lap. Verstappen is within DRS of Lewis Hamilton, though, so that's helpful for Verstappen. It just pulls him away from George Russell.
It certainly does. Bernie Collins will go to end.
I can finally see the start of this race to see what the hell happened.
Start for the front row. Hamilton getting a very nice slipstream and a good launch too, but watch Verstappen coming through already ahead of George Russell.
And George.
He had the momentum off the line, so he's clearly
close to the outside,
Russell, even before they got to the breaking point, and that's what
locked it up heavily.
Now he's gone straight off. Let's look at Piastri.
Oh come on, he drives through the grass to
There's the contact between Lawson and one of the
That's crap.
Cars. Piastri dropped back there, didn't he?
He passed like.
Charles Leclerc, if I was Lewis Hamilton, I wouldn't be overly amused at what Charles Leclerc did here, because I'm not quite sure why Leclerc felt he needed to go off the track in the way that he did. Maybe we'll see it a bit more clearly from here on in. There's a bit of contact, and then Leclerc just dives left and manages to keep hold of that place while Lewis is battling away with Lando Norris. So there's Leclerc coming back onto the track in the lead of this race. And you see from Max Verstappen's point of view now what he did, just on the curb, couldn't get the car stopped. So he's got to go wide.
Crazy. Oof. Kept it on the barrier.
Yeah, and kept out the barrier very nicely indeed. If you were Lewis Hamilton, would you just be a little bit irked by
they smashed each other. Hamilton and Max smashing wheels. Max goes off again. Oh, come on.
And onto the grass. And what has happened here? And Lewis Hamilton is dropped back a little bit as well.
That's crap.
That's George Russell getting in on the act. On the inside, Hamilton locks up. He's going to have to go to the escape road. Lap 6 here. It's all happening down at turn 4.
How is that legal?
Leclerc goes through. Hamilton comes back on.
And there's Behrman.
Of this battle, Ollie Behrman on the inside of Max Verstappen, trying to make up a place, and it looks like Ollie Behrman has done just that. Verstappen's going to fight it, but Behrman has got the advantage, goes up into 4th.
Yeah, but he went wide. Verstappen slipping. It's like,
almost a slip there from Max.
Went for a lunge on Hamilton. I was just saying he was within DRS. I wonder if he went for a lunge at turn 1 that then had this whole knock-on effect. We'll get a replay soon. But the net effect of all of this is Russell's dropped back, and Piastri having a little look there. So Behrman's gained, Antonelli's gained, Russell's lost out in all of this mess, and Lewis Hamilton is still somehow in 3rd place.
Oh, it's incredible. Lewis going off the track, having to take to the escape road, actually fed him back on quite nicely and out of danger. Piastri having a go on Tsunoda, didn't work for him. That's the Drivers' Championship. The live points as it stands. Lando Norris is going to take the lead from his teammate, and into the first corner we go. Behrman ahead of Verstappen, then comes Antonelli. We're looking back. Piastri too far back from Tsunoda, and Lando Norris is now 2 seconds, over 2 seconds clear of Charles Leclerc. Let's have a look then. Lunge from Max Verstappen.
Yeah, he sends it in, smashes into Leclerc, into Hamilton.
A little bit late.
I mean, then he also goes off.
And Verstappen has to take to the grass.
I mean, it's a big lunge, isn't it? He's come from a long way back. Lewis probably didn't expect to see him coming, gave him the space, and then...
is Verstappen far enough? Along the side there to claim that corner.
He's not giving him racing room at the exit, has he?
No.
He's slid wide, giving him a little bit of a bump before they've got to the white line on the outside. So Ferrari will argue that. But then you come down to turn 4, and then they both locked up and gone wide there.
He misses the escape route.
Just stopped the car, the apex of turn 5, and gone past both of those drivers. So
Hamilton he misses the escape route part of the escape route.
The outside, so
and that, so I'm going to see the part after that.
Turn 4, and then they both locked up and gone wide there. Behrman's smart. Behrman's just stopped the car, the apex of turn 5, and gone past both of those drivers. So he's done some very, very clever racing there.
Oliver Behrman's up to 4th. Haas has never had a podium.
I think Ferrari will be on the phone about Verstappen's lunge.
Well, I'd be too.
Third Grand Prix, and he's currently running 4th. And the stewards, or the race control of
Sainz and Alonso. Oscar still can't get by Sonoda. Oh, come on. Hamilton gets noted. I hate the way he drives. Anyway, 7 or so cars stayed out. The ones who pit at the end of so 8 cars stayed out. Six cars stayed out. 45, 12, 11, 22, 54, 2.
People to plunge turn 1.
Nothing yet. Let's focus on our race.
I think the trouble is, by the time they do something about it, it might be quite long into the race. They'll be not telling people to give places back, but it'll be 5-second or 10-second penalties if the stewards decide that. We saw Bortoletto ahead of Carlos Sainz in the battle for 12. Liam Lawson out, as he was last year.
We're really just not investigating turn 1.
After running the top 10 for the opening 39 laps, nothing doing for him this year here in Mexico City.
What a great job Ollie Behrman's doing. He's opened up a bigger gap over Verstappen than Verstappen has over Antonelli.
Yeah.
Fantastic job up in the heady heights of the top 4.
Going green next time by.
I mean, he's on the right tyre, but yes, he absolutely is doing a stellar job there. Ollie Behrman with a best finish in his Formula 1 career of 6th place in the Dutch Grand Prix earlier this year. And Max Verstappen and Lewis Hamilton have been picked up by the race director. That turn 1 incident for causing a collision has been noted. Lewis Hamilton might find himself being investigated for 2 incidents here and might pick up a double penalty for it, as here comes Kimi Antonelli on Max Verstappen. Can't get past. Oscar Piastri trying on Yuki Tsunoda. Can't get past. You just saw it in the background as the other Red Bull of Max Verstappen feeds through turn 2.
Yeah, but I wonder if the turn 1 investigation trophy is more about Max lunging and shoving Lewis out of the way, and then the other way for turn 4. Well, let's see, because it did feel like Max was the one coming with a big overspeed.
But he made the corner.
He didn't make the corner, though.
To the other car, though.
All right, we're green.
Was coming across it.
Reddick had 2 free
this is the sort of thing.
Get this lead. Blaney started 31st. Who would have had these 2 guys leading this late in the race?
Look at Blaney on the outside, down into turn 3. It's a new hairdo.
Reload.
Hairdo for Tyler Reddick. The mullet has officially gone. So maybe the new do will work wonders.
Byron's up to 6. He's by Cindric. Reddick trying to hold off Blaney. Keep on the lead, but Blaney's got the speed.
Look at that launch off turn 2 from Ryan Blaney. Ford versus Toyota.
Behind them, you can see Byron. He could not get by Gibbs, so he just rolled.
Chase Elliott trying to roll around the outside.
Cindric cut him a little bit of slack there. Just respectful racing.
Reddick and Blaney takes the lead.
And finally, the 12 was able to clear the 45, and Blaney is clearly out in front. Hamlin, then Logano.
And Byron has some company with his teammate on the bottom right, Chase Elliott. That's his onboard. You see to the left, William Byron is where he's going to be. They're door to door. You mentioned the 24 conceding the spot to the 54, and the 9 kind of took advantage of that momentum.
Watch what Chase Elliott does right here. He enters right on the door, right, but then he uses a lot of racetrack in the middle. Now he turns down with good forward momentum on corner exit.
If you're Chase Elliott, who knows he has to win as well, you have to think that William Byron has led 260 laps, and this was one of your chances to get in front of your teammate. Now he's going to turn left, no dive bomb, he'll get back in line. All right, so now if you're Byron, you've kind of fended off a battle, settle in, you know you have a good car, more than enough time to pass these spots.
Bell the inside of Larson, way in there, passes him.
Authority from the driver of the 20.
And now if you're Larson, if I'm Cliff Daniels, I'm like, all right, if that's where the 20 finishes, we're good. Just keep him on your front bumper the rest of the day. We're into the championship 4.
There's going to be so much of that over these closing 223 laps. Who is where? Where do I need to stay? What do I need to do? Update me.
Well, look at this. Something we haven't seen. Shadows off the race car.
Piastri got by Yuki finally for 8th place.
Surfaces are so temperature sensitive when it comes to tire wear. So this has been overcast all day. Oh, you got a caution.
Josh Berry.
21 spun around. I was going to ask if maybe the sun coming out, Jeff, is going to change the way these cars drive.
Berry was 18th at the time of spinning. Stevie, you talk about temperature. 59 degrees, so it's been a cool day here in Virginia. Check this out.
3 wide once again. We rarely see it work.
Combo shot.
Second time in a row that Berry was the victim of a combo shot, though.
Thanks, Bob, for that one.
Here it is from Bubba Wallace's view.
Anyway, so I'll probably restack them up, and I'll put on back to this.
350 what kilometers an hour?
350.
350 kilometers an hour is in miles an hour 217.5.
Oh.
You weren't far off, to be honest. So Max Verstappen's under pressure a little bit from Kimi Antonelli now behind him, who's in DRS range. If the medium tyre is starting to go off already, what does that mean for the second part of this race? When all these soft tyre runners are going to have to stick on another compound. Will they go to the hards as Esteban Ocon looks to try and go to the inside, and Yuki Tsunoda has that covered off?
Well, we've got a strategist, as I said before. This is great. I could just deflect all of these tricky ones. Bernie, what do you think is going to happen here? Because you're just saying the medium on the Red Bulls, both cars struggling there. Hadjar dropping back from Ocon as well. Where do you think the teams will go from here?
Yeah, it's a very interesting one, Corinne. I was just having a look at the tyre graphs as we have it, what we predicted. And I would say the soft tyre for Norris, like you've picked up on.
2 seconds, Bernie.
Dangerous defense there.
Okay.
He means into turn 1 when he was trying to get past the move to the inside. Carry on, Bernie.
Yeah, the soft tyre, less degradation probably than expected at this stage. The medium's actually pretty close to plan, I would say. Maybe a little bit more. And then the hard tyre is a step slower, so it is quite a bit slower than the medium tyre, but again, very, very low deg, so they've got a bit more reading to do. Ideally, the hard tyre runners would have a bit more free air before they make that decision.
And of the top 3, which are separated by a long way down the straight, just nearly 10 seconds between them, Lando Norris and Charles Leclerc had new soft tyres to start this race. Lewis Hamilton and Ollie Behrman, I think, were used soft tyres. On board with Fernando Alonso now down in 14th place. He is within DRS range of his fellow Spaniard Carlos Sainz ahead of him in the battle for 13th. He's already moving out into some cooler air and, well, won't be too keen on being down in 14th. Will be a lot more pleased, I'm sure, to see there's no further investigation for leaving the track and gaining an advantage. Sainz and Alonso being investigated for that.
It's not been a great weekend for Aston, has it? 14th and 15th for them. Alex Albon's had a whole load of braking issues and just not been happy with the car. Sainz qualified 7th on pace, carried the penalty from Austin, which has dropped him outside of the points. But I'm a little bit surprised to see Sainz not making a bigger impression, because he looked quick all weekend.
Just watching Oscar Piastri's pace down in 8th place at the moment. He's within a 1/10 of a second of George Russell. But George Russell's got DRS behind his teammate Kimi Antonelli, and Oscar Piastri is too far back to get any sort of advantage for that. So Mercedes can play a nice game to keep George Russell clear currently, as long as Kimi Antonelli keeps within the DRS of Max Verstappen and helps his pace too. But for just how long can you run that close to the car in front in these conditions? 51 degrees track temperature, 26 degrees air temperature. It really is roasting in the sunshine here in Mexico City, where on lap 15 of 71, Lando Norris has got a lead of, what, 5 seconds ahead? Over 5 seconds ahead of Charles Leclerc. Right, Lewis Hamilton. No further investigation for failing to follow race director's instructions in terms of going through the escape road and not on the grass down at turn 4. He is, though, under investigation for leaving the track and gaining an advantage. So same incident, but a different regulation that's now being looked at.
Sums up the complexity of Formula One, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's stupid. What about him and Max?
I think he's got less of a case.
I agree. So we'll see how that plays out. We haven't heard anything about turn 1 yet between Verstappen and Hamilton. But
well, the thing is that's been noted. All that turn 1 incident has been noted, but hasn't been passed to the stewards. And Ollie is doing a good job. He's up in 4th at the moment, but that could be a net 3rd. Because Lewis Hamilton has just been given a 10-second
penalty. Good job, good lord.
And gaining an advantage.
Well, then what about...
This day could go from good to seriously good for Ollie Behrman. It's just got a little
Haas
bit
has never had a podium.
And he's exactly 10 seconds in front of Piastri now. So if the order and the gap stay there as they are, he's going to drop well down into 8th place. It won't. We've got a long way to go, 56 laps. But that's a big blow for Hamilton there. You know what? I'm surprised because we saw it from here in the commentary box. We have a microcosm of the data that the engineers and teams have down on the pit wall.
Yeah.
I'm surprised Ferrari didn't tell Lewis to just back off.
Yeah.
Just back off. Don't, the gap that he gained of that 1.5, 2 seconds was evident for everyone to see. Just tell him straight away, back off, allow the other cars to come close behind. Not necessarily let them pass, but just give away the time advantage. Then you've got a case to make.
Yes. You know the question I'm going to ask you next, though? If Lewis Hamilton is worthy of a 10-second penalty for leaving the track and gaining an advantage, what about the other Ferrari at the start? And let's just go through the chain of events. He backed off. He followed the race director's instructions, but he didn't go down the escape road. That brought him back onto the track a lot further on than the cars that he was battling with. And that's why he's got that penalty. But didn't Charles Leclerc leave the track and gain an advantage right at the start of this race?
I think they take a lighter view of lap 1 in that wheel-to-wheel combat situation. Leclerc also had the distraction of Verstappen to his left. And
we're green again.
I think, let's be honest.
That's just short track.
Blaney, and then Hamlin in 2nd.
Byron
trying to wrap around the 54 to get to 5th.
Big lunge from Ryan Preece too, Jeff. Yeah, he gets by Larson.
He does. See, that gets to 24, just a little bit higher than he wants to be. There's not as much grip up there.
Logano to 3rd.
Is slow, and that's an opportunity to me, for Byron. He's got to get to that 45.
Oh, that's a good run. Oh, do not help him.
He's right there.
Do not help the 54.
I think he's going to do it. The 45
all right.
The field by 6 or 7 more laps than these guys. There you go. That's what William Byron needs to do, is roll to that quarter panel of the 45, not give the 45 the lane on exit, Jeff.
There's no saving tire right here. You got to push your car as hard as you have to get this spot.
It's a good run for Byron off the corner, side by side with the 45.
Oh, I love what the 24 did there. A little bit high.
45 loose.
45 smacks into the 24.
24 Byron. They both worked it out. But Reddick was hanging on to his car right there.
It was a little
Here
bump
comes
from
Byron
Reddick.
with a lot of forward momentum.
P4.
Very effective. I know it's a long way to go. 209 laps.
And Ellie trying to do the same move, wrapping around the outside.
Position if the 24 can get back up there, this restart and that exchange, Jeff, can be a big part of it.
That was huge, and sometimes you can't control it, right? Catching the 45.
With 3 wide.
And being a get around him.
Oh dear, this did not work yesterday.
3 wide in turn 3.
Chase Elliott's going to do the same as what his teammate just did. Stay on that high line. Goes right.
Oh, what a pass! He's going to get both of them. Oh, that was awesome.
You saw it with William Byron, and you saw rinse and repeat with the 9. Here comes Christopher Bell on the inside. Watch that 20.
Ty Gibbs smartly said, hey, I got a spot right here. Gonna get on the brakes hard, roll behind the 20, not give anybody else the inside. Big race yesterday for Ty Gibbs in the Xfinity Series. He's the car owner that won that race.
Circling the tie in points between Larson and Bell. The tiebreaker is the best finish of the round.
I'm guessing that was good.
Trouble right here for the 19 of Briscoe. Parker.
Yeah, he might be blowing up.
Briscoe's blowing up.
Issue here for the 19 of Chase Briscoe. Coming down to pit road.
Yeah, good time for it after the big win a week ago. The one of the 2 playoff drivers that could afford to have an issue today was the 19 of Briscoe.
That helps
you hate this, just
Larson.
for the momentum of what it does, but I will say an engine, you know, you could talk about what could have been, should have been. As a race team, you really don't have anything to do with the engines.
They wanted a good result to get into that mode, that championship winning mode. Here we go. Ryan Preece in the 60, Kyle Larson in the 5. Preece put a really slick move on Larson several laps ago, right there in turn 1 and 2. Larson's trying to repay it.
Well, I mentioned the 5 and the 20 being tied a minute ago, and the tiebreaker. The tiebreaker is the highest finished in the round. Currently, that is Kyle Larson's 2nd place finish at Las Vegas is higher than where the 20 is finished. Now, the 20 could finish 2nd here today. So there's a lot going on. It's all going to be settled here in the next 202 laps.
Larson's been in the top 3 or 4 all day long. Now
Wait, the signs went off? I think
and Jeff, you and I have both been a part of this. It's like, okay, 3rd is great, 5th is great. You all of a sudden find yourself in 11th and you're a little bit of quicksand. One little mistake, now you're 13th. Now you're 5 or 6 rows and you just quickly lose the ability to kind of run your own race. You're back there swatting flies trying to stay out of the mess.
I tell you what, this NASCAR Chase Elliott, he had an incredible run on
Byron's to the back of Logano.
Let's see if he tries it again. There he goes to the top of the racetrack.
Come on. Focus maybe after you get by Logano. I don't know.
Just doesn't have the momentum that time, but as the
finally
gains on the 9, Chase Elliott will not be able to do that anymore. He cannot get the 20 to the bottom of the racetrack.
Leader Blaney must win. 2nd place Hamlin already advanced. 3rd place Joey Logano
must win. 4th place Byron must win. 5th place must win as well.
Every year, Jeff, when they get to these positions, what did Bell tell you when you talked to him this week? I just assume somebody's going to win because they always find a way to do it.
Yeah, he said it just happens. And the quality of drivers that could win this race was so great that he just assumed it was going to happen. Christopher Bell with a move on Elliott. Chase Elliott makes his 2nd lane work really well.
Wait, where'd Bell come from?
And Byron now to the rear bumper of Logano. He's diving into the corner.
Trying to
You're seeing Byron
wrap
on the
it.
attack, and so too Christopher Bell. Meanwhile, up out in front by more than half a second, Ryan Blaney. The first half of this season, 7 DNFs. It was a nightmare beginning to 2025. He's now in a position where he can race his way into the championship 4. No driver has had 7 DNFs in the first half of a season and then gone on to win the title.
Yeah, gee, I wonder why. It's not as if we used to have point standings that disincentivized or that hurt drivers with that amount of crashes.
6 laps to go before he gets that championship berth. It's tight between Logano, Byron, Elliott, and Bell. We'll watch that when we come back.
Could be another investigation for the stewards should they decide that it is worthy of one.
Turn 3, presumably that's for lap 1.
Yeah.
So it's turns 1, 2, and 3. Yeah, I felt it was okay for him to start into 4th place, but you know, we'll see what they come up with.
Here's Carlos Sainz making a move on Franco Colapinto, and that will get him a little further up the grid, up the order, I should say. Lap 22, Sainz is now 17th.
We have 10-second penalty for the accidental fall with Verstappen. We don't agree, but let's keep the head down. That's such bad. The grip is so small there, and the grip there is so low. We don't lose.
but it's not for going off the track. It's for coming on and being that much further ahead. And Lewis, you know, lack of grip is not a defence for not just slowing down a bit and lessening the advantage that he had.
That's poor communication, because you've unnecessarily riled up the driver without giving him all of the facts. And I think, you know, that's not actually true. He's not been given a penalty for the incident. He's been given a penalty because he gained time.
Max Verstappen's not been given a penalty either. The stewards reviewed this. No further investigation.
Come on!
Chandok, your application to be a steward, should you choose to accept that mission, is back in the in-tray.
You'll miss me.
I would miss you a lot.
I think the catering's better where you are.
I don't think so. I think that would be the one better plus point for you on that one. So far this race, plus points for Oscar Piastri, not many. He got past Yuki Tsunoda, but he's not managing to get past George Russell very easily. He's just having to play a patient waiting game. McLaren went into this race thinking that on a like-for-like strategy, they could get themselves past Max Verstappen, as Kimi Antonelli now pits for Mercedes, and they could get past Verstappen, and Oscar could use that better tyre wear on the McLaren.
This is a great battle.
God, he still can't pass the 22. Hate.
Unbelievably good about protecting.
It's annoying as hell.
William Byron is moving around the racetrack, trying to get by him.
Launch him into the wall, please.
A few laps ago, Joey was able to defend it.
Byron makes good lap time, but in the wrong spots. He's good on entry, good through the middle, but look on exit. Just doesn't, like the 22 just drives kind of, not away, but definitely doesn't allow the 24. Look, 24 closes into a half a car length. 24 turns the middle pretty good. Like right here, I would think it should accelerate to the rear bumper of the 22, but it just doesn't. Tells me Logano gets a really good drive off the corner.
Some of the lap times on corner entry, right? And that is great when you're by yourself, but there is passing lap time.
No penalty for Max.
Lap time. Look at the gain the 24 makes on the 22 on corner entry. But right there, this time he's got a good run.
There we go.
He's going to show the inside. He's going to show Logano he wants his spot. Logano says, hey, you got it.
Well,
I'll fight you later.
He saw how good the 24's been on entry.
Fine. 24 gets by Logano. Thank God.
How good is the 24 going to be in traffic up against this faster traffic coming through after pitting off sequence from these guys that he's around now? Well, the answer is right there. Very effective. He's worked his way from 7th to 8th back to 3rd.
Now Rudy Fugle will get on that radio to William Byron. Congratulate him on the pass. He knows it was hard-earned. Take a breath.
Really good work there.
There you go.
But
really
now
good work there.
we need a
Clean air in
caution.
front. Just take, like, don't overdrive it. You were overdriving to pass the 22 because you had to. Now, Jeff, go back from passing lap time to regular lap time. Let your stuff cool. Do what this 24 has done. And you look right away, rolling around the curb on entry and exit. Marks, Dale Jarrett said it. I was fortunate enough to win a race here with the guy. It looks a lot like Jeff Gordon behind the wheel, because that is Jeff Gordon-esque. Make a pass and instantly get right back in his rhythm.
So, unfortunately, there is a retirement, and it's the racer who won last weekend and will race for a championship next weekend.
Briscoe's
Chase
out.
Briscoe. He's with Barker.
Right, Lee, he's out of his race car here after an engine issue. Chase, was there any indication that you were having an issue before it ultimately failed?
I have no idea what you just said so loud. Yeah, no indication. Just was running around there. We've been making our best push on the track a little better throughout the day, and felt really good about kind of where we were at. We were about to start fighting Larson there, and I didn't Bell or a tight battle, and yeah, just went to upshift, and yeah, something happened. So yeah, not really sure, but unfortunate for sure. But yeah, we'll go on next week, and that's what it's all about anyways.
Tough break for this 19 car, guys, but thankful for that win at Talladega.
Like you said, better this week than next week. Get it out of the way. Ryan Blaney leads by just under 2 seconds over Denny Hamlin. William Byron, Joey Logano.
12 now has caught the back of the field.
And now you talked about the messaging from the crew chief to the driver of this 24 car. Now, if I'm driving this car, I want to know, what is our pace to the leader, William Byron? I can see myself catching the 11. I can see that, but I need a little bit of information about Blaney. What is our speed? They've really been kind of matching each other. More times than not, Byron's just a little bit quicker. Where is the 12 a little better? What do I need to do different?
And I don't want you to burn your stuff up because traffic's going to bring the 12 back to us. Look, Blaney's great. He has the fast lap of the race already. So that point is currently in the bucket of the 12 car, that Xfinity fastest lap. He did it back on lap 241 in the 19-second bracket. So 19.95, which equates to about 94, almost 95 miles an hour. The question is, will that be the last time that lap is awarded? Because I could see these late restarts maybe having some faster laps.
Lap traffic now.
I think the other thing too, Steve, is when you're racing this quality of car, you're not going to catch Denny Hamlin for second in one corner. It's going to take lap after lap after lap, and it's gaining an eighth of a car length, It's a little bit every lap. If you push too hard, you actually lose ground. So you just have to be aggressive, but you also have to understand that it's going to take some time to get back.
Look at this traffic that Ryan Blaney
Helping us.
ahead.
I mean, we'll have to get to it
Caught Casey Mears and Cody Ware, but now he's got Ty Dillon,
Riley Herbst, and AJ
Allmendinger. There is a string of cars ahead of the race leader.
And you see on the pylon, Larson currently 2 points above Bell. Bell running 6, kind of right in the mix. We have 5 of Larson kind of running by himself out there, and no real traffic around. We'll keep you updated on that.
That lap right there was a great example of how the 12 caught those guys at a bad spot. He couldn't really control it, but he lost almost 0.3 of a second in that one lap.
Well, 0.7 to the 24.
What's that like as the race leader, Jeff, when you're juggling? Okay, I'm controlling this. I'm keeping an eye in the mirror on Hamlin and those chasing, but I'm also managing my tires. I'm trying to weave my way through. How challenging is that?
Well, you have to understand what your situation is, how many laps are left. Still 173 laps left, right? So there's a sense of urgency, but not desperation. I got to get by this guy. I want to get by him quicker than the 11 and the 24 can get by lap traffic. The 35 might have an issue as well.
Yeah, he's been off the pace.
Elliott's to the inside of Logano. Come on. Get him. Oh, Herbst's pulling to pit road.
He's already.
Oh, come on. And there's Bell right behind those two as well. Come on. Yes.
So it sounds like day done for Riley Herbst. It's far from day done for Christopher Bell.
Bell to the inside of Logano.
Chase Elliott, it's on. Here comes Bell.
This opportunity happened because of that contact in the middle of 1 and 2. I want to go back and see what happened there. So the 9's under the 22. Logano gets into the corner. Contact right there. Contact again, but that actually slows Logano down.
Signs speeding on pit road.
I wonder if the 9. Let's just watch this.
Going higher, what's your low exit?
So he hits the 9, knocks the 9 loose, and then he's got to check up, and he lost all his momentum, and Bell's back there saying, thank you, appreciate it.
Just trying to knock the shit out of the...
Remember, the 22 is on a little bit older tire than these guys are.
Thanks for the bump in the turn.
Window opens. Thank you very much.
Well, Jeff, you were talking earlier about how Blaney, could be frustrated for Byron to wonder how he got behind Blaney, and this is that moment where I'd be reminding the 24, look, we lost this track position because we're on a little bit fresher tire. It's only 10 green flag laps or so.
Good send for the 24 into the turn.
Run. When we hit the lap 60 or 70, that 10 lap window is going to be a big difference.
William Byron runs third. There's Denny Hamlin immediately ahead. Guy who has dominated the day. He's still in the mix.
Not out of it yet. Have to pry it on our cold, dead hands. Okay. I'll go back to F1. All right, 40. We're 28 laps through.
But just having Hadjar slot in between the two cars, Coffey, helped Behrman through those first 3 corners to get a little bit of breathing room because his
what the hell are these gaps? My God.
Was right up behind him.
What?
And it's just giving him a little bit of space to breathe.
Right. We're only on lap 29 out of 71 here, and I do not want to put the jinx in any way on this. But is this a time to start talking about a potential Behrman podium today, and not just his first podium in Formula One, but in their 210th Grand Prix, a first podium for Haas as well?
I would love to see it happen. That's all I'm going to say now. I don't want to jinx it anymore because He's driving well. The car looks competitive. He qualified in the top 10, showed pace, and he's matured a lot this season. You know, he scored 2 points finish on the road. We spoke to him on the grid, and he's on. You know, he's looking for his 3rd points finish in a row. As we see Piastri going past Bortoletto. That's candy from a baby with his DRS open. That's not for a net position.
No, Bortoletto hasn't pitted yet. We watched there the two Williams making a swapperoo. Sainz up into 12th.
Russell by
George
Hadjar.
Russell down the inside on Isaac Hadjar. And once again, Hadjar is not really racing. George Russell doesn't fight that too much. Next car up.
Oh, what happened?
By the way, ahead of Ollie Behrman is Yuki.
Is what happened to the Hamlin?
For the other Toyota drivers on track, this is the 3rd Toyota in succession that has gone back to the garage area.
Wait, what other Toyota went to the garage?
The 35 and then Denny.
Oh, and Herbst. God, Hamlin is blown up. Herbst is blown up.
Right? The 11 has a throttle issue at Talladega, a starter issue here. Now it blows up in the race. So you see the frustration for Denny Hamlin.
Well, that helps us. But wait, no, or does it? Well, it's net 0. Well, don't blow up at Phoenix. That's for damn sure.
As you just pointed out, Diffie, 3 engines in a 15 or 20 lap span cannot be a comforting feel for
Bell,
who's out there racing for his championship life.
Look at Denny. He's trying to provide some information.
1.5.
So is it possible that Toyota brought some engines here to see if they could make it, right? Make a little more horsepower. Do they have the reliability to take them to Phoenix? Is that a possibility, Steve?
There's a lot of things you can do in the strategy, knowing that this race really, while momentum is real, you know, the 11 and the 19 didn't need this race to advance.
Well, and that opens up an opportunity too for William Byron and gets the 11 out of the way. Speaking of that, let's have a look at the Toyota driver update, because who else is out there who is in contention? Well, none other than the 20 of Christopher Bell. Christopher runs in the 4th position at the moment.
And I'll be honest, I think if you're Denny Hamlin, you just thought today was a chance at race win number 61. Right, we keep talking about a championship, but Denny, remember that emotion when he won 60? And you know, 61 breaks that tie with Harvick, moves him up in the winning list. Like,
Byron's struggling to get by the lap traffic now.
Right,
Ryan Priest closing in on Christopher Bell. This would be for 4th.
The RFK man has had a really good day.
Roush has not won a race yet this season.
He's not holding back. He's not racing for a championship. He's racing for a win. Trying to get the first win of this 2025 season for RFK, and he gets
Bell. That lets him by.
Priest is so good at this type of racetrack. Won so many modified races in the Northeast. A very, very good racer. I'm an old school racer. Can build his own race cars. Sets them up, bolts them together.
Larson getting up to
He's
Logano.
currently 3 points to the good, but
Never be too safe.
You know, he has to, oh, that's a nice move. Crossover to the left side.
That's a
of the 22. Those
nice,
tires,
really
you
nice
pointed out,
pass.
Jeff, really starting to show for Logano.
Yeah, he's not going well at all, but Blaney out front, he has the same laps on his tires, and he is not slowing at the pace that Logano is.
20 lap difference on their tires. Have a look at this between Ryan Blaney, John Hunter Nemechek. Big box. Tap.
It's the second time Logano. Jesus.
Third, fourth.
Ooh, where does
that is aggressive?
You know what that is? That is, buddy, I don't have time for this. I am to the point of the season where perhaps this is a little aggressive, and the poor 99 for, I don't know, the 10th time has been sent up into the asphalt today. Yep, Blaney, these playoff drivers are driving with a little bit of chip on the shoulder is the wrong thing, just no patience, right? Like, I don't have time to be nice to all of you and accomplish what I need to do. If I'm ever going to use up a little goodwill, you're going to have to start doing it at this point in the year.
Cindric might get by him now.
Not working out well for Logano. He is losing spots.
Fine with me. Screw the 22. I'll be happy if the
stop required. We've only run 63 laps, 151 to go. So you really would love to get that thing another 30 laps. I think you could probably peel him off and pit early, but I just cannot do it at this point.
Man.
The other car that's starting to fall off a little bit is the 20 of Bell. So Bell is running.
But he's his car just isn't that fast.
And on older tires,
He's taking advantage of other people setting up drivers to make the passes. Because he's on the same tire set. He's on the same tire age as the 3 cars in front of him. Well, the next 3 cars in front of him.
All right, you ready to get entertained? Have a listen to this. Ryan Blaney may have gone from 31st to 1st, but things aren't happy in that cockpit with lapped traffic. Have a listen.
All clear, good job. Take care of it. No, yeah, I'm fine. I just have 0 patience for these dudes, man.
0 patience, Stevie, exactly what you said.
Yeah, I mean, he's a fiery driver, but I thought he's done a really good job of kind of managing it. And this is the time of the year and the time of the race. He knows.
Russell's about to pass Tsunoda. Come on, reload. Reload. Reload! I lost my stream. Come on. Let me look at the app to see the margins. 1.6. Yeah. Wait, Priest is up to 3rd. There we go.
Thanks to Chewy's licensed pharmacists.
All right, back to F1. We're almost halfway through.
What they are trying to achieve.
Waiting for a safety car.
I guess, maybe.
Here comes Piastri on Tsunoda. There's your pace difference.
Finally makes the pass for 7th. Oscar does.
Piastri is now back up
Gap to be 5
where he started. Now, as he does that, Lando Norris is told that it's about time he came into the pits. And even if you take off the 22 seconds that you lose for a pit stop here, the gap would be 23 seconds between Norris and Piastri by the time he comes into the pits.
Right, let's ride on board with the race leader as he dives into the pits here. He's got another car in front of him.
I think it was Gasly. It is Gasly.
Yeah, so here we need a nice clean stop here from the McLaren pit wall. That is a good clean stop. There'll be a sigh of relief on the McLaren pit wall there. 2.6 seconds. That's enough. They don't need a 1.9. Just make a nice safe stop, and he's on his way here.
Yeah, no hassles with that. They still had to have a couple of goes on the front right wheel gun to untighten the nut, but well, out he comes, clear of that car that's making its way, or was, through the heat haze, and that was Max Verstappen. So Lando Norris is on for
Larson by Bell. Yeah, the 20 is sinking like a stone.
I got more pace here.
Okay, well, you're free to overtake.
Yeah, well, no team orders down at Mercedes. George, you have to do it all yourself, is the order there. Yuki Tsunoda is just having that sinking feeling of being passed by a lot of cars as George Russell gets very close to his teammate. And behind them, Lewis Hamilton comes through and up into 8th place. And don't forget, if you're just joining us, I'll remind you, he's had a 10-second penalty for leaving the track and gaining an advantage in the early stages of this race.
Yeah, I mean, I tell you what, I felt sympathy for Yuki, because that is... I've been in those situations where you're on a different strategy to other people and you're just falling back through the pack. As a driver in the cockpit,
we got the 24 is closing.
Feeling, to be honest. Yeah. You know, he's seen Behrman go past, Antonelli, Russell, Piastri, now Lewis. All these people are just passing him, and there's nothing you could do. You're just hanging on with a car that has no grip.
And Blaney, who is a Cup champion, can get another shot if he wins here today. Kyle Larson is playing.
But now he's stuck behind Austin Dillon.
Block.
Playing a points game, but yeah, RCR duo actually.
With Larson and William Byron, he really needs to win, and he has led the most laps today. Tense times for these 4 drivers.
Blaney with a shot to the 3 car. He said no patience. He showed it right there. And William Byron has cut this lead to under a second.
0.7 of a second. The Valvoline onboard shows us. Byron is on a charge. So that brings us to our credit ones to watch.
Well,
who do you like?
You can't come to Martinsville without watching the guy that's won the last 2 fall races at Martinsville, Ryan Blaney.
Try and shove Busch out of the way as well. Busch just gives him the room.
With a little bit of pit selection and pit choice on strategy, he cycled away to the lead, and he is using that front bumper to keep it with now 135 to go.
William Byron in this 24 car, he has cut this lead, done for a second.
But now he has to get past them too.
Has to win this race to advance to the championship 4. He's a regular season champion. He has 2 wins here. A third one would send him to Phoenix.
Come on, get by him.
Can I go for a non-playoff driver just to mix it up a little bit? How about Ryan Preece? Look at the driver of the 60. He's won here in modifieds. He's yet to win a NASCAR Cup Series race. He turned 35 yesterday. Could be a big birthday present today.
And he's fast. That last lap was 2/10 faster than the leader, 3/10 faster than Byron. Now it is 4.5 seconds back, so he has some work to do, but there's still 133 laps to go in this race and a green flag pit stop. And when that green flag pit stop comes, could be a real determining factor. You have Joey Logano back there in 7th, kind of losing time. You wonder if he's not going to be aggressive. Paul Wolfe proved he's not afraid to just pit. He did it at the Roval. And then when does Blaney, Byron, Elliott, Larson, when do they start?
Okay, we finally got past
counter
them.
one another? Math would say you come in about, I don't know, about 25 more laps. You'd be split about right down the middle. But remember, when you pit here under green, you are absolutely, without a doubt, going a lap down.
Dave Burns, what you got?
Denny Hamlin will race for a championship next weekend. He's out of this race today. Denny, what did you feel behind the wheel?
I felt like the car was coming to us. I know what you're asking, but I felt like we're in a good spot there. We just started to close back in on Blaney. Felt good about it. Got the track position we needed, and I don't know. Feel bad for King Swine. I'm not sure we finished a race so far with these guys, but man, hated for them. And yeah, I didn't feel anything. I just the engine was running and then not. No noises, no sounds, no indication, anything like that. It just I decelled into turn 1 and the engine just shut off.
Okay.
And that was it. So they'll work on it, I guess, and we'll go try to get them next week.
How concerned are you about mechanical gremlins going into next week?
I mean, I'm obviously concerned, but there's obviously nothing I can do about it. So we're just going to have to live with it, and hopefully, we get lucky next week. And
someone's on pit road. That's Brad.
We're just going to have to see how it goes. But, I'm confident on speed. We'll be good next week. Really confident in what this team's going to bring next week, and we'll bring our best. Hopefully it lasts.
Thank you, Dan.
Not ideal, but quite a philosophical outlook. And here is the first of the front
Logano
runners
goes
to
pit road.
Here comes the 22 of Joey Logano.
Yeah, kind of expected. He was the one that was kind of losing the most time in a must-win. This is the time where if you have any more tricks, any more plays, any more Hail Marys, it's time to start slinging them against the wall and see what happens. So Paul Wolfe calls a 22 in. The 9 of Elliott follows, Kim.
That's right. He said I can get pretty good down low. I get off the turns well, just a little tight there, but it did get better throughout the run. 4 tires fuel, Marty.
Kim is starting to slip away from the defending champ, Joey Logano. He said it had wheel spin, felt like it was hopping on the left rear, and I had, quote, nothing left at the end of that run, Dave.
Can Christopher Bell get the adjustment that he needs? It'll be air pressure only just for a little bit on the 20 car. 4 tires here, Parker.
Kyle Larson also on pit road here. He's going to do 4 tires as well. They're also going to try and get this rubber on the left front hood flap. You see it propped up.
Byron's on pit road.
The left side of the car just below the windshield. Once they drop the jack, 2 crew members are looking.
So is Preece. Larson's gets a
Early William Byron trying to get the lead back. We'll see what happens to this green flag pit cycle. So calm on the radio.
Blaney's also on pit road.
Blaney leaving pit road as well. He said from a balance standpoint, I don't need much. I just need the rears to last, Kim.
Ryan Blaney saying, I don't really have much for you, Jonathan. So no big handling issues, just the rears gone. At the end of that run, they'll take 4 in fuel.
So while they're leaving at the different times, they're on different laps, if that makes any sense. The 24 is now back on the
9-9
racetrack.
for Byron.
12 of Blaney rolling down the front stretch pit road. Here, bottom box, Byron in the middle of 3.
Ah, no!
43 spins in front of him. We'll see if this brings the yellow out. I think it's going to have to bring the yellow out. This is going to mix everything up. Currently still green. Let's see where this gets blended around. All right.
No!
And there is see because there were some cars that hadn't pitted. This is going to upset the entire world, right? You have cars that have yet to come to pit road. So this is a very complicated scoring situation here at a short track with the length of pit road that we have. We'll let it cycle around a couple times and see, but let's see what happens for the yellow.
Eric Jones, the white and green 43 at the bottom.
Thanks, Bubba. You might have just fucked our
Contact
race.
with Bubba Wallace.
I'm not sure what happens right
so
there.
I think what happens is the 43 just comes off pit road.
Right.
He's on super low air pressure.
Wow.
Drives in the corner. The car doesn't make the grip he was expecting to. This is one of the things that will happen at this racetrack. When you're low on air pressure, look at the left front tire lockup. It just didn't turn, and then contact with the 23. That's what that was all about, just not having grip with cold tires on a cold day.
So we have a lot to figure out exactly. I believe that are both going to be on the lead lap, just the way this is scored. There's a lot of scoring rules, basically, on how you are scored relative start-finish line and pit out and where you are pitting. But we're in the middle of a pit cycle, so this will take a little bit for NASCAR just to determine who's where. What we do know is Ross Chastain is currently the leader of the race. He has yet to come to pit road. Behind him in second is Todd Gilliland in that bright green Gorillos machine back there in that 34. Great break for Todd Gilliland running.
The car much quicker than ours. I'm trying to hold position. I've got much more pace than Kimi here, and we can fight for a podium. I'm happy to give the position back if I don't achieve it, but my tyres are just getting sacked here.
And behind him, Piastri, I think,
we do need to get these tyres to the end of the race.
Is suffering a little bit as well. Now, I see everything, hear everything that Marcus Dudley is saying there, and he's right, because he's watching all the temperatures. But what do you do if you're George Russell at this moment? Oh, and now comes the call.
Yeah, honestly, I think they should have swapped it 5 laps ago. When George said...
Oh, there's
you know,
Max.
I'll
I mean,
give it back,
Russell Oscar trying to take
this call should have
advantage
been
of it.
made a long time ago.
And I'd rather get the feeling that Oscar Piastri might have been a bit wiser to that one there and could have dived down the inside on Kimi Antonelli.
Oh, great.
Well, yeah, George Russell, not a very happy man. He's now chasing Ollie Behrman for that podium. Piastri should have been a bit wiser to that, for me. Antonelli was always going to move over to defend once Russell went past him and leave a little bit of a gap down the inside. But you've got to go for it in the position that Piastri's in.
Maybe.
Oh,
but
what's Cindric doing?
Off as well. You know, he's looking at some.
Is he just letting
some points now, isn't he? I get it.
Is he just letting the whole
I
field
think the
mark?
risk of the reward was quite high, but yeah, I'm confused by that Mercedes decision. If you were going to make the decision anyway, just make it 5 laps earlier, so Russell hasn't cooked his tires, hasn't sent the rear tires sky high, has more time to catch and pass Behrman. You've kind of made a...
Oh, wait. Wait,
both,
Cindric had a penalty.
A mess of it, really. But we'll see. It's still got time now to bring the tires under control and do all of those things.
So that will
I just
put
feel
Blaney
like
as the leader of the cars
5
that
or 6
pit.
laps there.
Yeah, Toto Wolff not with us here in Mexico City this weekend. Bradley Lord is the team representative and taking on a lot of the duties that Toto would normally have. As I understand it, he's not the one that would make the call. There will be a discussion with the senior engineers as well.
Why is Alonso out? Why is Why are Hulkenberg and Lawson out?
Is to try and...
I mean, I missed all. I mean, I haven't been watching most of the race.
What happened to yours?
Mine
be just fine.
Is mine's the first car a lap down.
That's like the official announcer curse.
So.
And Christopher Bell was a big fan of Brian Priest too there for a little bit.
Yeah. So we just got notified that pits are going to be open this time by.
Oh, so Cindric was speeding on pit road. So that's
Chastain, Gill, and Barry will hit pit road. That will give the lead to Blaney and Byron. That was actually a great break for Blaney because Byron got stuck behind the spinning car. I do think Byron was going to cycle ahead of him. But now it's going to be Blaney and Byron that should take over the lead of this race. But what a break for Chastain, Todd Gillen, and Josh Berry. These crew chiefs continuing to try to keep their cars in the mix, and they've done a great job of it. They get to come down a very empty, very quiet pit road with only 3 cars on it.
And credit to Gilliland, who has been in it all day long. He spoke about positive momentum. Great finish last weekend. 34 team goes to work, Dave.
and he really wanted to come in for adjustments because this car is the worst it's been all day. That's a quote of the driver. So loosen, tight in the corner, loose off. Marty.
Ross Chastain pits from the lead earlier in the race, Dave. They were down a lap, but Chastain able to get a little bit of a break here when that caution came out. So the car was free for much of that run, just a little bit tight at the end. So a decent change to help the front end of the run for Ross Chastain.
Yeah, so they'll allow now the lap down cars to come to pit road, which some will, but those are the ones that are probably multiple laps down, like the 3 of Austin Dillon, who's turning down there now. And then we're going to have a whole bunch of cars that'll wave around and get themselves back on the lead lap when we come back from commercial.
Here's the reason we're under caution. Eric Jones, big lockup into Bubba Wallace.
Zoe?
That's the one.
Today, you're meeting for coffee.
They're gonna love you.
And then before you know it,
Hey!
you're meeting the family. At Credit One Bank, we believe having the credit and rewards for the little moments today can lead to even bigger ones tomorrow. Earn up to 10x points on travel and 5x points on dining with the Credit One Bank Wander American Express card. Credit One Bank, for what's ahead.
Check-in time is 3.
It's 2:55.
I know.
Is this what he's doing now?
As your host, I have some rules. First, no showers longer than 5 minutes. This isn't a spa. No games, no fun.
Yes, Coach.
Meanwhile, at a Verbo, get the vacation you expect, and never a hovering host.
Yo, what's better than a great touchdown? 5 great touchdowns.
Jamal Charles was cooking.
See, those are grown man touchdowns right there.
What is that supposed to mean? Grown man touchdowns. Tell me what it means, weird beard. You look like you about to give out the Gettysburg Address. You got a log cabin? With that stovepipe hat? What's the spread, Brian? Is it 4 scores?
All customers score an NFL Parlay Profit Boost every week this season. The crown is yours.
Big weekend next weekend. There's just one to go, and all series on display in Phoenix. And there's the rundown for you.
Practice on Friday. I can't wait. I love an extended practice.
So, pick the day, pick what you want to watch, because it is quite the menu, and it's all going to wrap up 3 p.m. Eastern on NBC for the NASCAR Cup Series Championship.
All right, so here we see all the cars. They're going to wave around to the pace car. All these cars are either getting back in the lead lap, or they're going to be 1 lap down or 2 laps down. You see the 2 of Cindric. He is stopped.
So the 2 owes the field a lap, and that's what Cindric is doing right here, which is unfortunate. That's a speeding penalty.
So 19 cars are going to take the wave around. So that's going to completely mix this field up.
All right, so that's going to put Blaney and Byron on the front row. They basically have fresh tires. And then Chastain, Gilliland, and Barry are your other lead lap cars. Now look, behind Barry, you're going to have a mixed bag of everybody. The next scored car is going to be Ryan Preece, who is the free pass. He's going to run inside the top 10, but be nowhere near the top 10 when he restarts. And then all the lap down cars, like the lead lap cars like Larson, for instance, and Elliott, they don't get to pull up. They have to start behind the lap down cars, because remember, they got the wave around. They were just gifted a lap. Gifted the opportunity to drive past the pace car. You can't have everything. So this is going to be a very, very messy start with agendas, tires, and if the rest of the field have the patience that Ryan Blaney has displayed, we are going to see a lot of bumper tag, because everybody now knows with 112 to go, this could be the run to the finish.
So think about Larson and Bell. We've documented their point battle. They are dug deep in this field. I mean, they're showing.
They're on the 11th row.
They're 11th row running 10th and 11th, but they are in the middle of chaos.
Chaos is what we might be about to see. However, it's pretty clean up front with Ryan Blaney, William Byron, the 2 guys who have led the most laps today. Look at that start from Blaney. What a flyer. Back to green here in Martinsville. Racing for a berth in the championship 4. The top 2 on track, top 2 in the race. They want that opportunity to race for a championship.
Blaney and Byron 1-2 right now.
Bottom of your screen,
Chastain's in 3rd.
Left of Kyle Larson. Larson, bottom right. Christopher Bell looking ahead at Kyle Larson. Nose to tail on the racetrack.
William Byron with tons of pressure to the 12 of Blaney. Watch how fast this 24 rolls the middle of the corner. Right there. A little bit of contact.
Bumper tag a bit.
Just looking back at the fourth car in shot at Josh Berry in that 21 Wood Brothers Ford, for the things that have happened to him today.
Reloading again.
Running sixth. We've seen him around a couple times.
William Byron has freedom to do whatever he wants. Nobody is on his rear bumper. You can see him trying to open up his entry a little bit. Stay out late. Not be as low as the 12. Try to turn right there. Get a run on corner exit, but right now the 12 of Blaney can defend it.
Team Penske versus Hendrick Motorsports. Let's go for a ride with thanks to Valvoline. Your man. Meanwhile, back to this points race between the 5 and the 20 to try and get that position, that final position into the championship 4. It's power and credit at the moment. Advantage to the 5 of Kyle Larson.
Yeah, these two are normally racing each other at the front of the field. And now they find themselves back here in a quagmire. And Logano, hey, don't forget about me. I still need to win, but there's races to go.
Let's continue that conversation about Kyle Larson, Parker.
Right, as we pointed out, with the caution coming out in the midst of that green flag cycle, Kyle Larson, Christopher Bell were sort of the losers in all that, and Kyle and the team were trying to sort through exactly where they were supposed to be on the racetrack, as you were doing, Steve, as well, and they weren't exactly sure where they were supposed to be and who they were supposed to be ahead of. They sorted through.
Caution.
You got a caution on the track.
Hocevar. God damn it.
7 of Carson Hocevar got spun around again. Now this will clean up all the confusion of the running order right here. This is a little bit of a fresh rinse for everyone. Now the question will be, what does everybody do?
Screen. What about as Verstappen goes up into third and Behrman now pits?
Yeah, you see Russell coming out. That looked like a decent stop. Behrman is also pitted there. So they've reacted. That trigger that Antonelli and Piastri pulled, everyone else now has had to react. Behrman's still ahead of Russell. Watch Russell versus the track.
Here come the Haas and the McLaren.
Russell. Esteban Ocon is right there with him and down towards
Ocon. Did he almost got by Russell?
Mercedes, and he's just hung on.
Or 70% of the way through that one.
There's Piastri just in the background. Take a bow, Haas pit crew, by the way, on the verge of a potential first podium in Formula One. And they've delivered 2 exceptional pit stops for Ollie Behrman. As down the inside, Oscar Piastri's having a go on Esteban Ocon. No chance of getting through.
Except Behrman's now giving up.
Inside goes Piastri on Esteban.
Wow, was a tight pass by Oscar to P6.
By Oscar Piastri, he's got the grip
All right,
on the medium
1,
time
2, 4.
run.
He's
Up
okay.
into 6th. Behrman has now dropped back down to 4th.
It'd be a +3 advantage now.
Exactly, they've given up track position for the podium as Antonelli goes past Ocon. Ocon on much older tyres, of course, at this stage. So this is going to be a fascinating fight. Ollie Behrman on tyres that are 11 laps fresher. Can he catch Max Verstappen? What do you think?
Bernie Collins down on the pit wall. I think it's going to be quietly asked, why did Haas feel the need, with the gap that they had with Russell pitting, with Antonelli pitting, with Piastri pitting, why do they feel the need to bring Ollie Behrman in?
Yeah, I think it's to cover that. That's their only opportunity. It needs to be that lap or not at all. So they have to give it a go. And it's unknown. It's unknown how long that soft can last on that car for Verstappen. So this is a good opportunity to try and make it work. And they've secured, hopefully, that P4 position.
And the thing to watch now, Crofty, is Verstappen versus Leclerc. Because Leclerc and Norris are now still on the mediums. They're the only ones of the top 8 who are sticking with that medium. Leclerc does not have a gap to Verstappen now. If he pits, he will drop behind Max.
Yeah.
Do they think they can just hang it out on the medium? 20 laps to go, 12 seconds the buffer. Can Leclerc hang on to the end and stay in front of Max?
Half a second. Max was fastest on the previous lap, on lap 50. 1:22.0 for Charles Leclerc. Sorry, on lap 49. On lap 50, a 1:22.0. Max was 1:21.1, 9/10. On that evidence, albeit very small evidence, no. In all honesty, no. By the way, race controls noted Oscar Piastri for causing a collision. Not being investigated by the stewards yet. That's for his move on Esteban Ocon.
What?
Which I thought was opportunistic and exactly what he needed to do.
You got it. If that.
I didn't see he was causing a collision necessarily.
It was fine. I don't. Yeah, I don't think there's anything wrong with that. So we'll see. This is the Constructors' Championship on the day where Haas are in a good position with both cars in the points, particularly Behrman there with a big haul. So this could be a big day. And you know what? Massive respect to their team boss, Ayo Komatsu, because they introduced an upgrade in Austin, which is really quite late in the season. And it wasn't like a little flick on the floor, as we see the Williamses swapping positions. Yeah, they introduced quite a significant
Hocevar and Suarez looks like. Isn't that the. Wait, did he cause the last time? Damn! Oh, a big side swipe. Oh my god. Suarez tucked that in twice.
Charles Leclerc. Max Verstappen, could he salvage a podium after starting 5th on the grid here in Mexico City? 21 previous starts from 5th on the grid. He's never won, has picked up 2 podiums. They both came in 2018 in Spain and in Brazil. Haas, by the way, I was talking about their pit stops. 2.3 second pit stop for Ollie Behrman. That's their fastest of the season. I think their first was 2.7 seconds. And the reason I think they've done so well is that the pressure that they've been under, you know, running so high up, you know, does make 1/10 a little bit, shall we say. And Ollie Behrman, though, on the soft tyre, hasn't got the pace that George Russell's got. And George Russell is really coming at him, and I think that podium might be disappearing.
Instruction, switch the cars at turn 1.
You're a sick.
Might be the worst strategy over.
I mean, 14th and 13th and 14th.
We didn't hear Alex Albon's view on it. And this is why I'm thinking, why not just keep Ollie Behrman out? But
yeah,
we'll never know what might happen.
Who
I get it.
Go to Phoenix with a chance to race for a championship.
All right.
Ryan Blaney, a 2-time winner in the fall. William Byron, a 2-time winner.
There we go. Green, green, green.
They share that front row. And
Not a great start from the 24. Chastain will let him in.
These 2 guys at the front know they need to win to get in to the championship 4. It's all on the line.
You got to get that move fast.
And if one of those 2 win, as you see in the points, that makes it a points battle between Larson and Bell.
But it's really hard to do a bump and run.
Blaney know it. He is giving him a shot into the rear bumper each of the last 2 corners.
And then there's a cluster of non-playoff drivers who they just want to simply win, like Ross Chastain, like Josh Berry, like Todd Gilliland, like Ryan Preece, like Cole Custer. They're all there and in with a shot. Teammates are fighting hard a little further back too with Chase Elliott and Kyle Larson. They're scrambling with Cole Custer at the front.
What happened to Jones?
Is in trouble.
Contacted with the right front
Oh, that tire is not going the right way.
direction.
But
Some sort of contact somewhere.
He is limping up the front stretch into turn
mean,
1.
He's going to be in the middle of the corner when the leaders get there, or is he going to get all the way around? No, he does a nice job of hustling it around and getting out of the way.
I tell you, William Byron has stepped up the intensity, and I think he needs to. He was faster than the 12 of Blaney the last run, but remember, Blaney had a little bit older tire than the 24 had, and Blaney was doing a really good job. I think right now, Rudy Fugle, the crew chief on this car, and the driver both.
Logano and Bell, so they're side by side.
Further back, bottom box, Logano and Bell.
Yeah, that's for 14th and 15th, with his way too far back for Logano in a must-win, and currently
Logano's by Bell.
Points over Larson is running 9th.
This restart has not been good for that 20 car. He's lost 4 spots since this restart.
Several cars back from Logano. AJ Allmendinger and Zane Smith are just laying into each other. Corner after corner, contact after contact.
So how do you make this pass? If you're William Byron,
You gotta wreck him. I don't know how else you're gonna get it done, personally.
what you're doing is you're trying to pay attention to what the 12 car does well and what it doesn't do well. And then you counter that of what your car does well. So the 12 all day long, Steve, has been right on that curve. Left side tires, on the curve, not giving the bottom up. So how are you gonna make that pass? Watch the 12, exits low. Look how low he is. How in the world is William Byron ever going to be able to get underneath this 12 car? If I'm William Byron, that's what my concern is right now. I'm not seeing the 12 move. I'm seeing tons of grip with that car. I'm seeing he's able to maneuver it.
I'm also thinking that these tires have changed over the course of every run. So I hear everything you're seeing, Jeff, but I'm trying to tell him to be patient. That I think we're going to be better than them in the long run. So just keep the pressure on the 12.
Steve, there's only 86 laps left to go. It's a championship.
Oh, I know, but we have traffic coming, and we have all kinds of mess.
And in this race a year ago, Ryan Blaney moved Kyle Larson with 24 to go. Then with 15 to go, he moves Elliott for the lead. So are we going to see that late in this race at the hands of William Byron? Maybe doing it to the 12 instead of...
Wait, Busch is in 10th?
Tell us more, Marty.
Kind of a debate between driver William Byron and crew chief Rudy Fugle. You heard part of that radio transmission. Rudy Fugle said, take it easy on the rear tires. We need them to live. William Byron said, I hear you, but I'm trying to push Blaney a little bit. And then Rudy said, I hear you, but listen, you're going to hit traffic at some point. We will get him at that point. I need these tires to live. There's 84 to go. Back off a little bit for me. Steve, you like that leadership from Rudy Fugle? Hey, reminding his driver, there's a long way to go in this race.
Well, I like him giving the perspective of what's ahead, but, you know, at some point, the driver is the star for a reason. As a crew chief,
oh, God.
At the bottom of the screen, you know, you can educate and remind your driver. But, you know, William Byron, he's got 286 starts with 15 wins. He's 27 years old. Jeff, you and I think of young William Byron because we've kind of covered his entire career, but he's not young William Byron anymore. This is a very mature, a very talented, a very respected race car driver, and only Rudy Fugle knows what switches to flip. That's the magic of that driver-crew chief pairing, and I'm confident Rudy knows what he thinks William needs, and William knows what he's hearing from his crew chief.
Think about how long that relationship goes back. They raced in the truck series together and had a ton of success, and when they teamed them up at Hendrick Motorsports together, ever since then, William Byron's career lit off in the Cup Series.
It's Williams' 8th year in succession at Hendrick Motorsports. It's his 286th start in Cup Series competition. There is no more young William Byron. It's the experienced William Byron.
Well, and Rudy's 173 starts are all with William, right? So he knows, they know each other very, very well. Now, on the other side of that, the guy he's chasing, the champion he's chasing, Ryan Blaney, right? 376 starts, 16 wins. The crew chief, Jonathan Hassler, was that crew chief that got that championship. So there's also that same sort of connection of these teams. And I would say the same for all 8 of the playoff cars. These guys get here over not just talent, but communication and teamwork.
You know, Blaney qualified poorly. Did not have any speed in qualifying. Was decent in practice. Is this the reason, though? Look at the line he's running. Think about what he did in practice. This is what he did. He put the car on the curb, left side tires on the curb. We know there's a little bit of speed in using some racetrack, but if you can get your car to race like that, it is almost impossible to beat it, Kim.
And Jeff, you think about what he's been able to do here, has the best average finish of all drivers at Martinsville in the next-gen car. And Blaney told me something clicked for him here in 2017. He figured out what he needed to do to be competitive at Martinsville, specifically the timing as a driver that you needed this racetrack. Crew Chief Jonathan Hassler echoed that and said Blaney knows how to get the best out of the car when the track is the worst. Now, I did ask Hassler, if you find yourself out front in stage 3, what does that mean? He said, we for sure have a target on our back. We have to manage that, be smart, and understand that we have no friends when it comes to the closing laps of this race.
want to take you back and show you something that's been going on for quite a few laps, and there's a couple of replays that involve
Gibbs and Cindric.
Austin Cindric and Ty Gibbs. You're on board with Ty.
Why can't we get more of that?
And about 4 laps later, hello.
Yeah, hits Bell. Ah! Oh, that was earlier. Okay. I saw it. I remember that.
Mr. Rebell's like, thank you.
Yeah. We talked a lot about
Bell's in 11th right now.
William Byron was doing. Well, if you look at the pylon, right, that 9 of Chase Elliott is now up to 5th, right on the rear bumper of the 21, and 74 laps is nowhere near too short of a run for a guy to come from behind. You mentioned Blaney stormed through the field last year that a lot of us just lost with all the other shenanigans going on out there. Just how great that closing run was for Blaney. Well, perhaps is that destined for the 9 car? Does he have that left in this 9 car in the closing 73 laps?
Blaney had better tires during that. Elliott's are some of the oldest.
Blaney has now led for 149 laps.
Twelve, 13 laps to go in Mexico.
says that Ollie Behrman and George Russell and Oscar Piastri and Kimi Antonelli have been running for about 10 or 11 laps. How are they going to hold up? How? Is that a little lock-up from George Russell there? 21-lap-old Max Verstappen's tyres going to hold up. How are 28-lap-old medium tyres going to hold up for Charles Leclerc? As for Lando Norris, he's got such a cushion now he can drive around in third gear and probably still win this race. And your Salesforce driver of the day currently is Ollie Behrman, and there's no surprise to that whatsoever. Could Oscar Piastri be about to force himself up down the
Piastri
inside
to
of
fifth.
George Russell? Yes, he is. And Oscar Piastri is
Or is he?
about two-thirds
Yes, he is.
ahead. By the time they get to the next apex, he is definitely ahead. That is exactly what he needed to do. He's up in the
Minimize
fifth
his
place.
losses.
Great move from the Aussie.
Yeah, and he's got DRS as
All
well
right,
on this straight,
10,
so that'll pull him a
The gap
slight
is,
bit away.
is now 1 point separating the two
Attack
McLarens.
From George Russell. It's a great move from Oscar Piastri, opportunistic there.
So
And
the
a big
gap
lunge,
will
but he
probably go to
managed get it stopped without
35
contact.
if he can get
That
it.
will give him a lot of
Right now the
hearts,
gap is
and
35.
a lot of hope as well for the fight to come for Oscar Piastri. It's still not going to be good enough for him to retain his championship lead this weekend, but it's only
If he can
1
get
point
Behrman,
in
he'll
it
be fine.
going to Brazil, and he's only 2.7 seconds now
All right.
behind Ollie Behrman.
Back to
Far so good. Byron, we're going to update all of the playoff drivers in contention in this final race of the round of 8 for you. Kim Kuhn, take it away.
Ryan Blaney leading, and despite having won the last 2 fall Martinsville races, the team told me they have to approach it like they've never won the fall race before. That's because they didn't want to get complacent or think that the track will just come to their driver. In Blaney's mind, he had one job, to win the race. He said it's much easier than chasing points. The team saying their strength has
lap
always
traffic.
been stage 3 of this 500-lap race. Marty?
William Byron trying to track him down, and I want to emphasize the calm with which William Byron has spoken the entire day. And I go back to something he said earlier this year when he said, you know, kind of in a weird way on the 2014, it feels like we're the experienced ones seconds now. Byron trying to make it all happen in the last 61 laps and make his third straight championship for him.
Well, Marty, his teammate Chase Elliott,
Where's
currently
getting
running
out
in
of
the
the
fifth
way?
position. He's run top 5 pretty much all day, but haven't seen much more out of them than about a 5th place run. Right now, he said, Alan, I don't know what to complain about. So he's gotten the most out of the car. Right now, just up to the driver to make it work for these last 60 laps, Parker.
And Kim for his teammate Kyle Larson. They ran
Larson just has to just make it by on the points.
Their day was flipped upside down with the caution in the green flag cycle. They fought back from that to currently run 7th right now. You know, Cliff Daniels, his crew chief this week, was asked about this team's readiness for going for a championship for that lull they had in the summer. He said, I think this team is as good as they've ever been. And Kyle and I both know we have unfinished business, and neither of us is happy with just one championship. They're in good position to go after another one, Marty.
Parker, with 59 to go, it's going to be a tall task for the defending champion, Joey Logano, to make it happen from here. He did restart 13th on those brand new tires, fell back to 15th. Now he's driven up to 10th a moment ago.
Oh, we're getting closer.
Said, you are 10th. We're second on our strategy. Try and hope those fresh tires pay off at the end of the run, Dave.
Christopher Bell's crew has been tinkering on this Toyota all afternoon long. It is still not as fast as they need it to be. His time is running out to make it to his 3rd championship 4. See what he can do at the end here.
And the other 2 playoff drivers, the 2 drivers who are locked in already to the championship 4, Denny Hamlin, Chase.
Going there.
Mechanical issues. Meanwhile, it is on at the front. Look at this. Ryan Blaney now has Ricky Stenhouse just for a quick breath of fresh air from the intensifying pressure from William Byron. William has turned it up a notch.
If you're going to win at Martinsville, you have to be able to work lap traffic. It is an absolute must. That's when the handling of your car will be tested the most. Because, Jeff, you have to be a little bit mobile, right? You have to be able to set those passes up and clear them. You can't waste time. And that's what William Byron's going to try to do. Is
that the 48 up ahead?
Leapfrog. Just try to stay behind the 12 and hope he catches him in the wrong spot.
And as he saw Ryan Blaney get to the back end of this field, remember, Rudy, his crew chief, told him, that's the plan. Save me some tire. But when Blaney gets to other cars and starts lapping them, that's when we need to have good tires.
It is the 48. Bowman, please help.
His game. The question I have, though, is he going to be able to have the speed to get by that 12? Because I just think the 12 looks really good right now.
He does, but it's a long 54 laps.
Oh, yeah.
If you're Ryan Blaney.
Top box, Rudy Fugel, crew chief of William Byron. Phenomenal relationship between these two. The understanding, almost the unspoken word, too, between crew chief and driver.
43 laps on this run. Remember earlier in the race,
that was a good
around
run
lap 60 is when we started to see tires start to run off a little bit.
Oh, man. Not as good as it.
They have driven away from second, from third. Almost 3 seconds.
Think about today, and Steve, you're involved in this intimately. Think about the legacy of the 24. It's
Where is
William
third?
Byron's
Where's
fault.
Ross's
It's
third?
actually his
There he
honor
is.
to drive that 24. But the legacy of that is enormous with Jeff Gordon, the Hall of Famer, the 9-time Martinsville winner. And he got his 93rd and final win here. Think if William Byron can do something Jeff Gordon-esque this afternoon.
Yeah, 20 years ago this weekend, I was able to win my first ever race as a
Oh
crew
my
chief
God.
with Jeff Gordon behind
That's
the wheel
true.
in his 24. We held off a hard-charging Tony Stewart to do it, and Jeff made this 24 magic here at Martinsville. You mentioned it, his final win here, and I think that's what's make this so, William Byron stepped into a car and a position that has to be a daunting task for anyone. And he's found his own kind of signature to do it. And now here he is at a track that Jeff made so famous. And he has won in the spring, but never figured it out in the fall. But Jeff, he told you this week it was going to be different. He knew what was in front of him. He knew he had to win.
So relaxed, right? I mean, for how young he is, just completely relaxed and understood the situation he was in.
What I like about both the 12 and the 24 is they just don't use up a lot of track. Like the 24 moves around, I think, trying to find a run. I don't think he has to. I think it's an option to run this second lane. And right now, the 24 is moving forward, though.
The one thing I have seen
Inching,
with the 12 car,
if he is.
compared to earlier in the run, he doesn't leave as low on corner exit, especially
That
on
was a good turn.
4, as he has been able to do. Let's see this lap. Look at the corner entry speed. Now watch this 12 car. just not on the curve for as long. It's a small difference, but it is definitely different.
It's those rear tires that Rudy Fugle asked his driver to save. Watch right here. The 12 tries to get on the gas. Little bit of movement out of the back of the car.
But it's worse off of 4, and that doesn't surprise me. For some reason, the corners look the same, but this is where the grip starts to lose on the racetrack, more so than off of turn 2.
Jeff, there's a ton of traffic ahead of them. Put yourself in William Byron's shoes. In this cockpit of the 24.
Finally getting back to the bumper.
The goal for me is I don't want contact, right? If I can pass him, I want to do it clean, because if I get by him and there's traffic, by hitting him, he can turn around and do the exact same thing.
Oh. This might be the run. To the inside. Oh, he sends him. Ah.
But the 12 is still there. The 12 is still close enough.
It was an aggressive move. The 12 blocked. The 24 got into the curb, and basically there was not enough.
God.
Race car now. Can the 12 get close enough to make the same shot?
Watch this. Front stretch, turn 1. Ty Dillon on the outside, and William Byron says, I've led 260 laps today. I'm not going to be denied a win here. I want to go to the championship 4.
He had good run off of.
It was. I saw it coming. I didn't think it was gonna. Blaney.
And he saw it.
I mean, I would have gone for the move. But now the problem is 24 has to deal with the lap traffic.
The 12 has to get next to the 10, and that boosts the 12
But
all the way to the
okay, I don't know how much faster the 12 is.
When he gets to him, it is going to slow him down, and that is going to allow Blaney to get to his rear bumper. What does Blaney do?
Well, you said it before the pass happened. I don't think Byron went in there with the goal of hitting the 12, but he went in there okay with hitting the 12. If that was what it took, was contact, then he was all right. I believe the same is now opened up for the 12 car. I don't know if Blaney wants to hit him square in the
Oh, but the 71 let him go.
get next to his bumper cover or next to that left rear tire. That to
Whoa! That's what I need. Come on.
He is running.
Blockade time. Oh, the Chevrolets. Come on, hold them up, McDowell.
I'm coming. This is why this track is in the perfect spot in the playoffs. It allows drivers.
What's next? Oh, shoot. Okay, one's Dylan, and the other is the Busher.
39 laps to go to determine.
Busher is stuck outside. That might help 24 past him there. Oh, now he's not stuck
As
outside.
they run right now on points, the winner
24
gets a spot.
sending it in.
And at the moment, that would be William Byron. He came in 36 points below the cut line. And you hear drivers all the time, Jeff, say, I've just got to go and do what I do. We've got to execute as a team. Well, William Byron has done everything he possibly can. He won the pole position. He has led 266 laps. He's been out in front, he's been back in traffic, and he's now back in front. It has been an almost perfect day by the driver of the 24.
And what he's done an incredible job of right now is getting by lap traffic quickly, not allowing that 12 car to get to him. As soon as he gets to him, he's able to turn underneath him, get by him. The 12 of Blaney, we saw it. He wasn't able to hold the bottom of the racetrack as well as he was earlier in the race. Even right there, you see him leave the bottom. The rear of that car, Steve, is not as
It was a good corner for Blaney, though.
Yeah, but this battle is far from over. You mentioned the traffic. Now the
Ton of lap traffic. 12 is closing back in.
The 24 absolutely doesn't want to see that.
And 3 is racing. Austin Dillon in that 3 car. He is racing to stay in the lead lap. He is a
Of course it is.
Byron has to go to the school of Ryan Blaney, how he's dealt with the lap cars.
Just knock him out of the way.
Yep. William Byron turned before he even got to the 3. He turned left, said, Austin, I'm going to take this spot. And Austin knows, they all pay attention. They know the battle that's going on right here. Austin Dillon recognized it and did not put up a huge battle.
Ooh, Blaney trying to knock Dylan out of the way. Next up's Haley, then Suarez.
I give Blaney credit. He is doing an amazing job of staying in touch with the 24, not letting a lap car get between them.
Just to paint the picture very clearly.
No, we didn't get clear of the 7.
He's one of those who must win to go to Phoenix with a chance to race for a championship.
And he gassed up on the exit of 4. I thought he was going to get to the bumper of the 24. I think he's going to have his shot. I think somewhere in this accordion, he's going to get all the way to the bumper. What will Blaney choose to do?
Ooh, not a good turn for Blaney. Couldn't get past the 7.
Look at William Byron's eyes.
Oh, but now we got to get to deal with the 99.
Just completely focused in front of him. Look at this. Normally a driver would look in the mirror on the corner exit. He's just completely focused on what's happening in front of him.
He probably figures there's nothing he can do, right? The guy behind him, if he gets to the bumper, he gets to it. If the spotter doesn't give him anything to look at.
A lot of respect being shown to this race for the win.
As it should be. Yeah, you've had 34 and a half weeks to be one of these two cars. Now Blaney, though, has lost touch by one car. Now Suarez is in the middle. Blaney is going to have to try to, stay on the offense, because if the 24, this is what happens in traffic, is you kind of get separated.
Blaney has shown us at this very racetrack just 1 year ago, he is not afraid to move people up the track and out of the way for the victory. That could very
Blaney
well
got by Suarez. Byron got by Custer.
But he's got to get closer to William Byron.
Listen, I thought Joey Logano something.
Where are we in Mexico? Okay, 2 laps to go. I'm going to take a short break from looking at that just so I can...
Sainz has come to a standstill in the stadium section. So a couple of corners beyond where we are now, you should be able to see a stranded Williams. That's why we've got the double yellow there. But look at this. Charles Leclerc is now just a few car lengths ahead of Max Verstappen.
Yeah, but DRS is disabled, Crofty, because of the yellow flag.
No, it's not.
Well, it's not, because Max Verstappen has got DRS.
Anyway, 2 laps to go in Mexico.
It'll be on the other back straight. Sorry, so he will have it here.
And the crowd are roaring Max Verstappen on. And even the roars of a sellout crowd in Mexico City couldn't quite get him past on that occasion.
Byron got past the last lap car for a while, I think. Which was Allmendinger.
Coming back, and Charles Leclerc once again. It's going to be down to the last lap here because he can't get past through turn 4.
Yeah, the DRS is disabled. It says zone 1 somewhat confusingly, but it's actually the straight between turn 11 and 12 where they're going to come up to.
Virtual safety car, race over. Norris wins. Okay. Blaney got past Allmendinger.
To get himself in.
71 laps on this green flag run, though. If we go 25 to the finish, it will tie the longest run today for 96 green flag laps. And everybody out there slipping and sliding, hot, worn-out brakes. A caution could happen very easily, really at any point with any one of these drivers.
Larson wants none of that. Larson wants this thing to just finish just like it is.
I feel like Byron's going to say the same.
And if it does finish like it is, the championship 4 will be 2 Joe Gibbs Racing Toyotas with Denny Hamlin and Chase Briscoe and 2 Hendrick Motorsports.
The last time that happened was 2021. The Hendrick in the War of Hendrick v. Gibbs, Hendrick won the war.
Finishes as it is, it locks Team Penske out.
Brad and Bubba up ahead of the top 2. They're 2 wide.
And let's be 100% square about it. Everyone is terrified to put a Penske car into Phoenix with a chance to win the championship. They have proven what
Damn straight. All right, Byron gets by Brad Keselowski.
Ryan Blaney, that win at New Hampshire in dominant fashion, made it Penske and him specifically probably the favorite going to Phoenix. But I will say that William Byron, who's currently leading this race, let's not forget, what he was able to accomplish. He's had some good runs this year, and I think people have to look at him. How can
he would be the points leader if it was full season. Need I say that?
He also won earlier this year in Iowa, in amongst the cornfields.
Blaney easily gets by Brad. Byron coming to the MBM 66. 20 to go.
It's advantage William Byron.
Yeah, he's done a nice job of stretching this lead.
Okay, you know what? I'm gonna hide the chat. I'm just not gonna look at anything.
Now you can run one corner behind him. I will say, after everything that went down here last year, it's refreshing to see people racing all over the racetrack. Byron and Blaney solving it between one another. Larson and Bell racing each other. Although I will say, Bell has found a little bit of pace here lately. He's still got 8 points to make up, but he is running 10. Oh, we got the car around. That's a 77 of
You
Hocebar.
fucker. Come on. It's the 3rd time he's spun.
loved this, and some people hated it. William Byron did not want to see this. Larson did not want to see this. On the other hand, Blaney and Bell, it may be exactly what they needed.
Now, the good news is, I think with the tire that we have here today and as much grip as these cars lost, the question to come to pit road is absolutely a must. Will anybody try 2 tires? I don't think it worked. It didn't work for the 71. I think it's 4 tires and 4 tires only. And when you said some people love this, we showed a pit crew member. If you don't love this moment, you're in the wrong job, because this is the kicker mentality. It's your time to shine.
Great. This is exactly what I didn't want to see.
Next week, right? We've seen championships decided on pit road. Today, we can see who goes to the championship 4 decided on pit road.
Is what happened to Carson Hocevar. Contact from behind.
Okay, Priest, I think.
And around goes the 77.
McDowell, I believe, behind him.
I mean, I feel like the
Okay.
And I tell you what, I don't know what's Spires. We got a lot going on.
Land of free spins.
Well.
So this is game on. It is game on to the max.
You mentioned the pit crew, Steve. The driver has to give the pit crew his best opportunity also. He has to hit his marks when he gets in the pit box. He cannot speed on pit road. You have to maximize your speed, but not go over that speed limit. If you miss your marks in your pit box by a few feet, it makes the crew chief's job extremely difficult.
Remember, pole sitter William Byron, pit box 1. Big advantage at this moment right here. Look at Blaney, though, right on his bumper, closing the gap. Blaney's got to peel off first. He's down here in the middle of 3 and 4. Hard left for the 12. He's looking for his stall. Kim, Blaney on pit road.
A couple laps before that caution, he said he had no rears left, so he will welcome fresh tires. It was code blue, which apparently means 4 fresh Goodyear tires for Ryan Blaney, Parker.
Kyle Larson was not excited about this caution, upset about it coming out. Obviously, 4 tires for him. They were in a good position, 8 points above the cut line, Dave.
Christopher Bell running 10th. Free up by entry. It's all entry. 4 tires here, Marty.
William Byron told Rudy Fugel, nothing new with the handling. Let's leave it alone. Don't make any changes. The 24 pit crew has not lost a spot on pit road all day long. Can they deliver on this final stop?
We win the race off pit road.
Hold serve here on pit road.
I will repeat, it is game
2 tires for the 12.
When we come back.
That's got to be wrong.
This last round in the round of 8 and determine the championship 4. Late race caution. Here is the cause. It sets up for a gripping race to the finish.
Ooh, okay, Big Wheel.
We see you, Mike.
Oh, you mean my beautiful new...
Oh, God. Oh my God, I hate this so much. I think we could have won if it went green the rest of the way, but I mean, at least we're leading.
William Byron has
Restarting with
chosen the
11 to
inside
go.
line, and he's got Ryan Blaney to his right. When they come to the line, it will be 11 laps to determine who's going to the championship 4.
William Byron's job is to leave the restart zone at least a car length ahead of that 12 car Blaney. Blaney's job is to not let that happen. If Blaney can enter the corner alongside
No
the
traffic
24,
left
he
to
can put
resolve
his
it
left
now.
side door on the 24 right side door. Pinch him down, not let him get a good exit and beat him off the corner.
And remember, new winner, it's going to be a points battle between the 5 and the 20 of Blaney, who are only 2 rows apart.
This is it. Lights are on here in Martinsville.
11 to go.
And they're racing to the end with 11 to go. Good restart, William Byron.
For both of them, it was a good restart.
Great restart by Blaney, though. But
Byron's clear off of 2. Come on. Ooh.
William Byron, Ryan Blaney. Ross Chastain is the next one, but he's not one of those cars in contention to go to the
10 to go.
championship 4.
Larson also single file back there in 5th. They shouldn't catch lap traffic with only 10 laps. It should be clean racing. It's going to be solved between the front 2.
Don't discount the 9. If something happens with 1st and 2nd or 3rd, Chase Elliott's sitting
9
there
to go.
putting his hands together saying, yep, give me an invitation to Phoenix.
Good adjustment by this 24 car. I feel like that 12 car for most of the day has had a little more takeoff speed, but right now Byron's able to drive away from him.
Frustratingly for Ryan
8 to
Blaney,
go.
he is not close enough to William Byron. The laps are ticking by. 8 to go.
Same frustration for the 20 of Bell. 7 points behind. You see Larson bottom left, Bell bottom right, Bell back in 7th. He just can't seem to break free.
Kyle Larson will race for a championship if they stay as they are right now.
7 to go.
Laps to the good. 7 laps to go. William Byron has never led this many laps at any track he has ever raced at. What a performance on a day when he needed to deliver the most. The last 2 races have been crushing.
Who's that? Is that his new girlfriend?
Spectacular fashion. Not his fault. It was an awkward incident in Las Vegas. Last week he got tagged with the finish line in sight and saw dozens of drivers go flying by, and he lost so many positions. Today he started from the pole.
5 to go.
In one more lap, he will have led 300 laps today at Martinsville in an epic performance.
Blaney is getting everything he can out of this race car. Both of them are.
Everyone fears Penske at Phoenix. They've mopped the floor with everyone the last 3 years to win the championship. 4 laps away from this being denied. Make it to the freaking white. Half a second's the gap, which is pretty big at Martinsville. Elliott, do not cause a caution with Ross. Please. 3 to go.
I don't know if it's enough, but he is faster. Will it work? The 24 we know has short run speed. He sat on the pole.
This would be Byron's 16th career win, which would tie him with Blaney.
Chase knows he has to be there. If the 12 can get to the 24,
2 to go.
Be the next car in line.
Great point. Game on. 2 to go. There's 1 mile left before we're in championship mode. What a contrast from these 2 guys. One started on the pole, one started in 31st.
And then they both battled for most of the 3rd stage. And it comes down to this. White flag. Last lap at Martinsville. Come on. I've been cursed with having to watch Penske mop the floor with everyone the last 3 years. Not today, bitch. It'll be Hendrick versus Gibbs. Byron comes off 4 and wins Martinsville. That's how you do it. Woo! 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 Yeah! Woo-hoo-hoo! Woo-hoo!
There's a plan. So he did it. Thank you, guys. He did everything he needed to do.
Oh, we did it! We fucking did it!
And his teammate from Hendrick Motorsports.
Oh, and Larson will finish out the championship 4. Oh,
become a two-time champion.
I'm going to have to clip that later.
What a group we have.
Oh, the pain of the last 2 weeks. The crash at Vegas. The spin on the final turn at Talladega. The pain of watching Logano, then Blaney, then Logano swipe the championship at Phoenix. I don't care who wins the championship next week. I mean, I'd love the 24 to take it for once. But, finally, I can relax for a bit. And now I have a headache from screaming.
Pole position, 304 laps led, and victory, and a championship berth. Rudy Fugle said it. We had a plan.
Yeah,
you stuck to it.
You framed it so nicely, just what this team has dealt with, right? Because they had winning speed in Las Vegas when they had.
Oh man, it's his third win at Martinsville, by the way. Hendricks 300 and what, 20th win? Yes.
You start to see the excitement on the face of William Byron.
$320th win. Did I say 322nd? I meant 320.
Got traded to a little extra there.
Yeah. Front stretch is the victory lane. NASCAR said, "Hey, can you move your car a little bit so we can set the stage up?" William was like, "I can celebrate anyway."
This track means so much to William Byron personally. His dad, Bill, and mom, Dana, brought him here for his very first Cup race at 8 years old. Tony Stewart won that day, but today, William Byron uses Martinsville to put himself in his third.
I have never seen that guy this emotional. Why can't we have this guy more often?
It means so much to him personally. It means so much to the Hendrick Motorsports family as well. William, could you pick a better spot for your first ever walk-off win?
No,
Third champ.
Damn, I got a lot to say. Things have a way of working out, and God really tests your resilience a lot of times, and we've been tested, and just unbelievable. I'm out of breath. Thank you, fans, for coming out. Badass crowd. I watched my first NASCAR race up there just before start-finish line, and man, I am just so thankful, excited to see my family, and just celebrate this one. We obviously go to Phoenix and just go try to kick ass there.
You mentioned all that you have been through and this team has been through, and you and I have talked about it. These playoffs have been frustrating for you guys. Have you ever been through more emotional swings in 10 weeks to get to this point?
No, I mean, you just work so hard. All these guys work so hard, and you put everything into Sundays, and sometimes you don't get anything in return, and that's been the last couple weeks, and honestly throughout the year we had some close calls, but yes, sometimes life is that way, but you just got to keep being resilient, and we were, and it just feels damn good.
Lee, you mentioned that he's won 2 Daytona 500s, but this one to be in the championship four in front of this crowd, this one means something.
Oh my God! I'm on a high for a while.
To our own Jeff Burton, and now today it's William Byron's turn with much bigger rewards. That reward is he gets not only to race for another win, he gets to race for the honor and the privilege of being.
For once, can we finally seal the deal?
We've got a whole lot more coming up on the Progressive post-race show. Need to hear from those not necessarily celebrating, like Ryan Blaney, who chased Byron home. This was the decisive.
Okay, I'm done. I'm gonna have a party or you go out for a nice dinner. Thanks to everyone who came out today. Next week is championship weekend, and I will be there. Hope you all enjoyed the race. See you guys next week. BowserJrXD signing off.